Alright, is this working? There it goes, I think. Hello? It says live here, but not here. Are we functional? There we go. Okay. Welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Gambit. Last I left off, I was partway through episode 3, I believe it was. Where's my chapstick? I did not think things through. I forgot to put it on. Where did it go? Where did it go? Because if I don't use my chapstick, my mouth dries out so much faster. No good. Not for streaming, not for speaking. Should open up the game though. No, I don't need that. Alright. You know, I'd gone to look and see about a, we have like an extra monitor thing. It was for drawing, but no one's using it right now. But so I opened up the box to take a look at it, but there's no like wires in the box. Also no pen, but no wires. So I'm not sure how to hook it up. I'd need to look around for other ones. If I could though, I'd be able to check the OBS without necessarily tabbing out of the game, which would be nice. Although I'd have to figure out where to put it. I'd probably just have it up on a temporary basis while I stream and then put it somewhere else when I'm not, because otherwise there's not space for it. Even with that, there's not space for it, but I could make space somewhere. Stick it on top of the printer or something. Oh. That's not important right now. That's right, we need to talk to Miss Scone. April 2nd, 12:05 p.m. Zodiac Hall, Autumn Wing. Whoops, that's the wrong button. Hey, sure, taking our time. I thought there was supposed to be a 10-minute recess. Sorry to keep you losers waiting. But wait no longer. I won the race to find Alicia Scone, and here she is. Hello, dears. This lovely young man said you wanted to speak with me. Alicia Scone, purveyor of the most wondrous wares and a pharmacist can offer at your service. Why do you still have a baking outfit then? Alicia to my pals, and even Miss Delicious to some. You can call me the winner, and I'll call you whatever I want. Alright, Winnie Boo, whatever you say. It's lovely to meet you, dearie. So much for calling me the winner. Oh, have we met before, young man? Get a load of this, Delicia. That's Miles Edgeworth, Gregory's son. Well, I never. It's a pleasure to meet you, Milesy Smiles. You must address me by my given name. Just Miles will do. Greggy Peglegs, boy, and all grown up too. Makes me feel my age. Make me feel my age, why don't you? I wonder just how old she is. Eustace, I believe we have some questions for our pharmacist. Oh, yeah, what brings you to the gallery today, Miss Scone?
Why, I came to see dear old Moody Judy, of course. We've been fast friends for 18 long years, and no one's gonna stop me from visiting her now.
I understand that you helped look after Mr. Gusto in the immediate aftermath of the attack.
Oh, I didn't do much, really. Just whipped up a quick antidote for the dear old doctor.
Wow, you can make an antidote just like that?
Oh, yes, dear. As long as I have the right ingredients, I can throw together just about any medicine you like.
It certainly helped that the medical room was well equipped, though. We were much better off treating him here than losing vital minutes taken him to the hospital.
Anyway, we did what we could. The rest, well, that's up to him.
And do you know the victim, Miss Delicious?
Oh, yes, well, sort of. It's been 18 years since I last saw him. Apparently he's famous these days. One of the best confectioners in the world, or so they say.
Interesting, so he's a well-known public figure.
Oh, yes, dear, he was on the news and everything. Confectionery crafting king of the world, I said.
Well, so the old dog really went to sing following up his game, just like he said he would. Perhaps if we could proceed to the matter at hand. Miss Scone, are you familiar with a substance known as Infesticide Ultra?
Of course, dear. You use it to get rid of, you know what. Oh, it's awfully strong, though. That's why they don't sell it in the shops.
When I ask what you mean by you-know-what, I mean, I imagine bugs, maybe mice.
The little blighters that frighten the life out of poor innocent ladies like yours truly, that's what. Ghastly little creatures running around people's nice clean kitchens and terrorizing them. Oh, I get it. Those.
Thank you, Miss Scone. One more question, if you don't mind. Are you aware of what happens when the chemicals asphyxion and ubiquium are combined?
Oh, yes. It's right there in the Infesticide Ultra instructions. Not mixed with products containing ubiquium. Ever. Because if you do, they react with each other and make a horrible poisonous gas. What was it again? The effects of inhalation include respiratory complications and, well, death. The poor old Gusty nearly didn't make it. To make that much gas, you'd need, probably 500 millimeters of each chemical, I'd say.
She certainly talks like a skilled pharmacist.
Ubiquium's awfully thick and sticky, and it heats up very quickly indeed. It's also bright red and smells minty fresh. Oh, and cheap as chips. That's why they use it in everything. Asphyxion's more watery, and it's white in color.
That will do, thank you.
Say it's thick.
I suppose if those aren't ice, the statue itself could be heated, perhaps. You are clearly well informed, Miss Scone.
As well I should be, dearie. After all, Infesticide Ultra is made by the company I work for. Oh, but before you get the wrong idea, they don't go around handing out free samples. As I say, it's awfully terribly dangerous. You couldn't even buy it if you wanted to.
Yes, Miss Scone, very interesting indeed. I think that tells us all we need to know. Strange. I thought she suspected Miss Scone. Something in that smile makes me wonder if she has some other angle in mind.
What is it, Detective Flatfoot? Any developments to report? Yes, sir. Turns out the sculpture's glass display case is open from the top.
Oh, that's rather unusual.
And the temperature inside can be adjusted too, all the way down to 0 degrees. Pisces case was kept at 26 degrees. Dang near got my hand stuck to it.
You're lucky you escaped alive. Anything more relevant to the case?
Yeah, they found something on the other side of the top part of the Pisces case. Traces of ubiquium.
Ooh, now we're talking.
That's odd. If there was ubiquium stuck to it, it should have stayed stuck. After all, at 26 degrees, it would have been frozen solid.
It would, huh? So, how did things wind up as they are now? I think Kay might be able to help us figure out just that. Or at least, Mr. Thief might. You guys are that desperate to get on my good side, huh? Fine, I don't know what the heck you're talking about, but take it away.
I can't believe I'm taking orders from this guy. But whatever, anything for the truth.
Overruled.
Before you get too carried away, the Goddess of Justice has no need of your help. We will find the truth ourselves. Ouch! Why so frosty, Judge G? Your baby prosecutor just gave it the big thumbs up. What's the issue here? Oh, wait, don't tell me the committee has some dirty little secret it doesn't want us finding out. I'm not required to explain myself to you. But if you feel that you absolutely must participate in the investigation, perhaps you can prove to me that it will be worth our while to keep you around. What exactly does she have in mind here? Who triggered the release of the poison gas? If you can answer this question, I'll consent to your participation in the investigation.
You heard the lady, Smiles. Somebody opened up the Pisces case and let out that gas. Considering what we've learned so far, it's only one person it could possibly be, you know?
Yes, the answer is indisputable. In that case, please kindly provide it now. Who released the poison gas?
I mean, he was the only one in the room. He had to take off the lid in order to do that.
Take that!
The victim, Carmelo Gusto, is the only person to have entered the Autumn Wing. Thus, only he could have opened the case. Correct. That appears to be the only logical answer. Very well. I will permit your participation in this investigation to continue.
And just blah.
Started a little late. Woke up late and then actually I did not wake up late. What did happen? I don't know. Went to bed late, which is probably why I was slow about doing anything. Very well, I will permit your participation in this investigation to continue. However, if at any point I feel you are contributing nothing of value, you will be removed immediately. Understood. Even if Mr. Gusto did open the case, we still have no idea why.
Alright, Mr. Edgeworth. Tell me what you want to see.
Let's use the data we've collected to recreate the scene before the poison gas went off.
On it.
Don't scare me like that. So this is what you were talking about? You're Mr. Thief. Let's begin by examining the Pisces sculpture. There's a generous amount of ubiquium frozen to the underside of the top part of the case.
Yeah, which is what's keeping that lid on real tight. The actual glass lid is all cracked though, right? Somebody really went to town on your little house there, huh, Pisces?
Do we have any idea of how the glass lid might have come to be so cracked?
Well, it doesn't look like the outer-facing side of the glass suffered any damage.
I see, so we have a cracked piece of glass that we know was ice cold on its inner-facing side. And we also know that it wasn't damaged in any direct way on its outer-facing surface. Thoughts? Rapid temperature change? Ice cold? Makes me think of the way you glare at people, sir.
Cracks make me think about those deeply etched lines on your forehead.
It was cracked by heat expansion. Applying heat to ice-cold glass from the outside will cause it to crack. Oh. Well, I appreciate the science lesson, but why is it all heat-cracked in the first place? Why indeed, a heat-cracked glass lid lined on its underside with frozen ubiquium. You look like the cat that got the cream, Miles, Reno. You know what happened, don't you? I certainly do. And what's more, I know how Mr. Gusto opened the case.
What? You didn't give me any chance to. You didn't give me a chance to figure it out first.
Would have been quite the wait.
Well, don't keep it to yourself, Edgeworth. I want answers.
How did Mr. Gusto open the case?
Probably this.
Take that!
The blowtorch shows signs of being The blowtorch showed signs of having been used recently when it was found here in the autumn wing. I think it's likely that it was used on the glass lid, causing it to crack.
A blowtorch? Who uses a blowtorch to open a glass case? Oh, I get it. Mr. Gusto was trying to melt the frozen ubiquium so that he could open the lid.
Indeed.
You get the answer by a second, but we'll see who wins in the end. Don't try and tell us you nearly had it. You didn't have a clue. No, I was Edgeworth, making things hard to understand.
Okay, would you mind updating the recreation so that Mr. Winter can follow along too?
Sure, just for him. Alright, here goes.
Mr. Gusto was alone in the autumn wing, and while he was in here, he used this blowtorch to melt the frozen ubiquium on the underside of the lid.
And?
As the ubiquium melted, it mixed with the asphyxion that was already present inside the glass case, thereby producing our poisonous gas. Got it running off into the water there. When Mr. Gusto had finally managed to open the lid, he would have released the gas and poisoned himself. He made it as far as the fountain room, where he collapsed.
So, he opened the case, then out came the gas, huh?
Seems we got there in the end.
But why the heck a doodle-doo did he want to open the case in the first place?
I'm not sure. In fact, we don't even know what his ultimate goal was.
I'm thinking he might have come here for the same reason I did. Check out not the autumn wing, but the winter wing. You remember, right? Thought this was where the winter wing was when we first got here. Caught you out too, did it, my lady lumpkin? I was ever so confused, what with it being where the chili wings room was all those years ago. There's even the same little tree in front of the blessed door. Who wouldn't be all 6s and 7s, eh?
Did everyone involved in the IS-7 incident make the same mistake? I think we need to go and take another look at the winter wing. And to see how quickly I can convince Mr. Winter, I suppose.
Eureka, ladies and gentlemen, I have the answer.
The answer to what exactly?
The man was going to end it all. A dramatic exit stage left, sort of fartsy farewell. Have you been listening all this whole time?
At my level, I barely need to listen to a word, and I still understand exactly half of what's going on.
Perhaps I can explain a few of the finer details to you later, Eustace. Winner's prerogative.
Winner's the... Sure, thanks, Gavel.
Thank you indeed. And it's always best to leave things like child wrangling to a professional. In the meantime, don't you have something to tell Mr. Edgeworth and his friends?
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot.
What is it now?
I took the liberty of investigating our friendly pink pharmacist here. Or rather, I had one of my underlings do it for me.
That's nothing to brag about, you know.
Shut up! Can't you see I'm talking? Anyway, let's put a pin in my suicide theory for now. Yeah. I have something more important to tell you. It was Miss Delicious who set up the poison gas trap.
How could you say that?
It was greatly saddened to learn of this, Miss Scone. Your profession is one dedicated to saving lives, and yet you used your expertise to try to take one.
I beg your pudding? How dare you? I did no such thing.
Perhaps you could explain, Mr. Winner? You bet I can. Get a load of this. This is Miss Delicious's pharmacist license. And it says right here that she's authorized to handle Infesticide Ultra. The product that we have established contains asphyxion, one of the ingredients of our poison gas. Exactly! It's almost impossible for ordinary people to get a hold of that stuff. But Miss Delicious is no ordinary person. She's a card-carrying pharmacist.
I didn't do it. This is all just a terrible misunderstanding.
Objection!
And that's not all. There was a bottle of Infesticide Ultra in the victim's pocket. And what do you know? It's covered in your fingerprints. Oh. We know that you and Miss Bound took the victim to the medical room. What better moment to slip the bottle into his pocket? No! There was only one person on the premises licensed to carry Infesticide Ultra, and that was you, Miss Scone. Furthermore, you are acquainted with Miss Bound, the owner of the gallery, meaning you would have had access to the building and ample opportunity to prepare your trap.
No, dear, listen, you don't understand. That Infesticide Ultra was stolen from me.
Why were you just carrying that around? Lying will only lengthen your sentence, Miss Scone.
I'm not lying. Though it's in my bag somewhere, I'm sure of it.
What is she looking for?
That's not it. And that's not it.
Why do you have that in your bag? Well, I guess you were using it in your setup before, but why would you have that now? That cloth looks familiar.
Here we go. I knew it was in here somewhere. Look.
What's this? Something written on it, I think. April 1st, complaint field, offense theft. Item stolen, Infesticide Ultra 1 bottle. It's a crime report relating to a theft. April 1st. What? When is it now? Got any dates on this or anything else? No. What?
See, you silly billies. I told you somebody pinched it off me a week ago, no less.
By which you mean to say that it was not in your possession at any point today?
That's exactly what I mean to say. I think the bottle you found might be the one I lost. I always have some in my medicine bag, just in case, you know.
No, I don't know. It's just poison. You're not like a... You're not like an exterminator. You're...
What? And I was supposed to keep my bag locked up tight, but... Well, I'd forget my head if it wasn't screwed on. Now, thanks to silly old me, someone's gone and mixed up a cloud of poison gas with the stuff.
I see. But why on earth would you carry such a hazardous substance around with you? Exactly.
Like I said, just in case. You never know when one of them might appear. You mean the ghastly little creatures that run around in people's nice, clean kitchens type of them? You could just roll up a newspaper and whack, one done.
Are you talking about bugs? I was thinking mice. I don't think you can just do that with a mouse. They're a bit sturdier. Also, even if you did manage to kill it, that might be messy.
Well, what do I do now?
Of course. I think perhaps it might be wise to confirm the authenticity of the crime report, just to be safe. Can't hurt to verify Miss Scone's story, after all. She may be lying to us.
Okay, good idea. All right, I'm going to give the precinct a call. Don't go anywhere. So Miss Scone might not be guilty after all.
Indeed. If she really were the one who set up the poison gas trap, then I highly doubt she would have used a method that directly implicates her. So, who do you think did it, Smiles? Someone with knowledge of the victim's likely behavior and the time and means to prepare. Two factors which point to one very specific person.
Oh, yeah, and who might that be? Don't leave us hanging, big guy.
Who had the means to steal the infesticide ultra and dress one room up to look like another? Who could be the person running the place?
Take that!
Surely, only Miss Bound, the proprietor of these premises, could have possibly prepared in such a way. We'll need some solid evidence to support such a theory, nonetheless. So it's her, huh? Strange. It's like he already knew.
Ooh, nice shooting, Malzerino. I might have to make that associate position a permanent deal.
That is not what I was hoping for.
I'm back with results.
The police have confirmed that the theft really was reported and logged.
Which means we may have been a little hasty with some of our conclusions, team.
You mean that every single one of your conclusions proved to be hogwash?
No, I mean, we're only just getting started.
Oh, then what's our next move?
Well, first we need to go and talk to Miss Bound.
And then?
And then I'll think about what to do after that.
Eustace? Miss Gusto's real destination appears to have been the winter... Mr. Gusto's real destination appears to have been the Winter Wing. Perhaps it would be worth having someone investigate that room more thoroughly.
Oh, yeah, we should totally do that. Flatfoot, go investigate the Winter Wing. Yes, sir. Well, we're going to talk to Miss Bound.
Very good, Eustace. We'll join you, if you don't mind. May 2nd, 1:35 p.m. Zodiac Hall, Fountain Room.
Okay.
All right, you have your orders. Go talk to Bound for me.
Hey, Mr. Winter, weren't we going to talk with Miss Bound ourselves?
Sure, but I thought, why not let the grunts handle the grunt work, you know?
Means I can just sit back and wait for the report. A winning strategy.
You spoiled little...
Ugh, He's so exhausting. I need a break. Huh? There's something in the fountain.
Yes! It's a body!
Yikes.
What on earth?
Order in the court. Somebody call forensics.
How about you pull them out of there and check and maybe see if they could be not dead?
Bad news, sir. Real bad news. Order. I will have order, detective. The ice sculptures and the winter ring. They've all melted.
Someone turned up the temperature while we were out of there.
What? Huh?
Say. Okay.
What is the meaning of this? Now we have 2 victims?
Yeesh. Talk about deja vu. It's just like 18 years ago. Even the ice is melted again.
Again?
It's like some weird rerun. Same people, same everything. Said it before, and I'll say it again. It's no coinky dink. You're with me, right, Bowser? You know. I am. I think the answers lie in the IS-7 incident itself. In fact, I'm convinced of it. Great minds think alike. Alrighty then. Time for another trip down memory lane.
Who was that even in the fountain?
Who was that? Yeah. You just... It's 18 years past, it says. I still can't believe the IS-7 incident was Gregory's last case. Or that it's been 18 long years since. Murder at a confectionery contest, and one of the participants, no less, Artie Frost. Actually, the body looked a lot like that. The one in the pond. They pulled his body out of a treasure chest that was a part of this. That was a part of Samson Tangaroa's chocolate to blow. He'd been hit in the head with a large rock salt lamp and subsequently bled to death. They found the lamp hidden inside the Candy Castle Delicious Scone had made for the contest. Then, before anyone had the chance to investigate Mr. Frost's own room, all of his icy creations had melted clean away. Hmm. 18 years ago. December 24th, 9:05 p.m. Contest venue, fountain room. Mr. Frost's work destroyed. Mr. Von Karma wasn't very happy. He told us to get out in no uncertain terms. So, what do we do now, Mr. E? I can't believe he just up and kicked us out. Oh, Karma's a total jerk. Oh no, Eddie. It was always the job of the police and the prosecutor's office to investigate the scene. Yeah, but he didn't have to talk to us like that. Who cares if we're cops or attorneys? We should all be working together to find the truth. You can't assume everybody's aims are the same as your own. You may wish to expose the truth, but others might prefer to accept things at face value. Which way of thinking is right will depend on the person. But what if somebody innocent ends up behind bars because nobody managed to uncover the truth? It can happen. We're all human, police and prosecutors included. Which is why defense attorneys exist. Our job is to help the people in just such situations. Be friends to the friendless. Friends to the friendless. Now, we may not be able to investigate Mr. Frost's room as hoped, but that doesn't mean we give up. You're right, Mr. E. I'm sorry. I should have thought more before I opened my big mouth. You're young, Eddie. You'll learn soon enough. I will, I promise.
Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, you look like you could use a little pick-me-up. I'm afraid this is all I have, but please, by all means.
Oh, you're the best, Miss Bound. Chocolates added to the court record. Rather misshapen and incredibly sweet. Thank you. A little sugar boost might actually help. Well, these are a little too sweet for my liking. A little uniquely shaped. Okay. Implications that it was like, you know, a hot environment and therefore melted a bit.
I'm sorry if they're not up to your taste.
No way, they're great. They're so sweet.
You're very kind. Imagine me, of all people, a mediocre confectioner.
What? You mean you bake these yourself?
Yes, Samson loves chocolate, so I had to learn. Keeping him supplied with his favorite treats is just one of my many duties. Although, he does spend most of the time coaching me on how to improve my technique.
Mr. Tangaroa sure is a lucky guy. Indeed, homemade sweets made by the one and only Judy Bound whenever he wants sounds amazing.
Sorry, did you say something?
No, nothing at all. Dear sweet Hetty, you really do still have a lot to learn. Seems you're quite committed to the work you do for Mr. Tangaroa, Miss Bound.
Of course. Would write what I have to stay here otherwise.
What do you mean by that?
I was abandoned as a baby. Mr. Tangaroa took me in. That's right. On snowy Christmas Eve many years ago, he found me on the steps of this very mansion. He saved my life and became the father I never had. I could never repay him. So, my work for him is the least I can do, and I'll be here for him as long as he needs me.
That's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. I must be getting old. Pulling up a little myself.
To think today's Christmas Eve, and I can't even give him his present in person. I'd do anything to save him, anything! Please, if there's something I can do to help, just say it.
I'm very grateful, Miss Bound. Perhaps you can help us by answering a question. Did you know the victim?
Not very well, I'm afraid. Oh, but if you wanted to see some of his work, I have a picture of the sculptures he made for the vinyl.
My, stunning.
Aren't they? I think they're masterpieces. Who would have thought you could make such intricate sculptures out of flavored ice? Samson adored them too.
Oh, hey, that's Taurus and Gemini, right? I didn't know you were keen on the constellations and the zodiac, Eddie. Oh, I love it. The stories those stars can tell. Take Gemini, for example. See the lyre? That's what the harp is called. And the arrow and the... Hold up, the lyre doesn't have any strings. Huh.
Huh, did Mr. Frost forget to add them, maybe? That doesn't sound like something he'd forget to do. Wait, really? But I thought you just said you didn't know him very well? Oh, well, he didn't seem like a type. Seems she's got something to hide, too. Looks like they might have taken the Loomis cloth. What's missing? Well, you know. You took this photograph yourself, Miss Bound. Yes, I use this instant camera here. It develops the pictures as soon as you take them. It's so useful. Ooh, I'd love to see it in action. Then why don't I take your picture? Yes, come on, Mr. E. Let's get a shot of the both of us. Alright then. Be ashamed to waste a good hair day. Ready? Say cheese. There, all done. The picture's yours to keep, Mr. Fender. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's such a cool camera. Well, it's the only one we've got, so we use it for all our picture-taking needs. It's very convenient, but lack of negatives is something of a shame. There aren't any negatives for us to reference, huh? I assume Mr. Tangaroa used this same camera during the contest. Yes, you assume correctly. He used it for some work-in-progress pictures of his seascape. And later, to take some photos of the other contestants' works. But didn't you take a picture of the body when you discovered it? Didn't you discover the body while judging was still underway? Yes. Samson wanted pictures of all the entrance-completed rooms, but the film ran out just as he finished photographing Mr. Gusto's work. So he asked me to go put in a new cartridge. But if you did that, and then presumably you got distracted by the noise when in there, how would you get a picture of Frost? He was the last one to be judged. Unless you just went in there and told him and he was like, I need a picture real quick, and now we'll go see the dead body, which I guess is an option, but it seems like an odd thing to do. You seem to think there should have been more shots left than there were. In other words, the film ran out sooner than expected. Yes, the number of shots he took didn't line up with the number of shots remaining. But he thought maybe he'd just lost track somewhere along the way. But had he really, though? I went to our living area to change the film and was passing through the fountain room on my way back when I heard the sound of something break and collapse in Samson's room. Samson, are you in here? Mr. Frost's body was just lying there. I was in total shock. It was all too much. But I remember, I called the police, and then I went to tell everybody else. And the camera, it's been with me ever since. Right. Okay, so you say that, but that doesn't line up with a picture of the other area unless you took it for a reason? I see. I'd be grateful if you could lend us the camera in this picture, Miss Bound. Of course, here you go. Thank you. Instant camera added to court record. Photos develop instantly. New film cartridge has 20 exposures, but there are only 3 remaining. Photo of Frost sculptures taken by Judy Bound. Okay, she took the picture. I guess just after they die? After the person died and you found the body? Why? Consistency's sake?
Good to get a record of the room, I suppose. Detective Bad, Miss Scone, are they done investigating?
They're done with me, that's for certain. A big meanie told me to clear off. Honestly, that man he thinks will be the end of me, the cheek of him.
He's got tired of people cluttering up his crime scene. Did he run you off too, Detective Bad? Yeah. Well, Karma seems to think I'm a nuisance. Can't do things his way with me around. Lord Von Karma goes so far as to exclude his own lead detective. Still, kind of pretty good look at the scene. As for Gusto, he's enjoying a nice little chat right now in Frost Room. What about? About the fact that Miss Bound said she saw him going in there during the contest. Mr. Gusto went into Mr. Frost's room.
That's right. And to say he looked very much like he didn't want to be seen. I don't know what he could have been up to.
Well, he's candidate number 1 at the moment. That's the guy who melted Frost's work. And is that really why Mr. Gusto went into Mr. Frost's room? Got a photo of the room right here. If you need it, it's all yours. Wait, what? Why would you just give it to us? I gotta spell it out for you, kid. I'm offering to help you guys. Let the truth about this case come out. Detective? Really, Detective Bad? That Mr. Von Karma won't be happy about this. Yeah, well, I'm not Von Karma's stooge. He's gonna stonewall my investigation. I'm not gonna play by the book either. And let some pesky rules keep me from finding truth. Now, can I, Mr. Edgeworth? Indeed. Thank you, Detective Bad. Wow, I can't believe you won him over, Mr. E.
Well, I haven't the foggiest what you're all going on about, but here's new friends, eh?
It's definitely nice to have the good detective on our side, that's for sure. Alright, let's take a look at that photograph. Here. Right. This is what Frost Room looks like right now. Yikes, there's nothing left of his flavored ice sculptures but puddles. The floor appears to be completely covered in a pale blue liquid. I should compare this with the photo I just borrowed from Miss Bound. I assume that the unplugged power cord has something to do with all this. Yeah, once that was out of the socket, the display cases lost power. And up the temperature went. Looks like they were all connected to the same power strip. Do you have any idea when it was unplugged? Nope. Still working on that. Those sculptures were beautiful. What a waste.
You can say that again? I should have taken a few more bites out of them while I had the chance.
So they tasted good?
Did they ever? I've never tried ice so scrumptious in all my life.
Really? Man, I wish I could have had a bite.
Oh, scrumptious except for the salty bit, of course. That was unbearable.
The salty bit?
It's in the other photo you've got there. This bit, the Harvey thing.
Criminalized liar. Wait, that's why it had no strings, because you ate them.
I didn't eat that much, you cheeky little devil. I told you it was all horrible and salty.
Miss Gunn's statement added to the court record. Interesting. It's interesting that only one particular part of this one particular sculpture tasted different from the rest. Could somebody other than Miss Scone really be responsible for eating the rest of the strings? Did you notice this? Did you notice anything else, Miss Scone?
Come to think of it, I did. There was a funny little mark on Chillywink's work. Those two little letters. Let me see if I can draw it for you. There we go. Yeah, it's just like that.
It's almost like a signature or something. Wait.
I just knew Mr. Frost wouldn't have made that harp without strings. He's not the type to skip an important detail like that.
Hope you don't mind me asking, Miss Bound. But are you certain you didn't know Mr. Frost particularly well?
No, I barely knew him, I swear.
Is that so? You certainly seem to have some strong opinions about his attitude toward his work.
No, I just... The sculptures were so carefully made, I didn't think he'd miss something so important.
Sorry, but I don't believe you. You have a more personal connection to his work than that.
What makes you say that?
I have an item of evidence that appears to have been one of Mr. Frost's possessions, and it shares a key feature with another piece of evidence.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about I won't know what you're talking about if you don't share. So what are these two pieces of evidence of yours?
Which two items point to Mr. Frost? This is the first.
Take that!
And now the second.
Take that!
Miss Scone found two letters carved into Mr. Frost's ice sculptures. I think they were signature of sorts. After all, it's not unusual for an artist to initial their work.
I guess not. That's right, yeah, it's just like you said. Chillywink statues had the letters PH carved into them plain as day.
PH? Shouldn't it be AF? If you'd think so, take a look at this. It's the seal we found at the crime scene. It seems reasonable to assume that it fell from Mr. Frost's pocket. And when pressed into the surface of an item, it would leave behind the letters PH. The same pottery mark we see imprinted on the bottom of the items in the tea set. Let's see. Pottery mark. We've already established that the tea set is the work of the sculptor Paul Halik. From that, we can assume that these same letters would mark any item as out as a piece of his work. A fact of which you are well aware, correct, Miss Mound?
Well, yes, I know that he always marks his work with his initials like that. He's never revealed his true identity in public, so it's the only way to know his works are truly his.
You mean Paul Halik was... That's right, Detective. Artie Frost had another identity. He was no ordinary confectioner, at least as far as Miss Bound was concerned. You see, Mr. Frost was in fact... Mr. Frost was, in fact, none other than famed sculptor Paul Halik.
What? Mr. Frost and Paul Halik were the same person?
Sounds like the marks are hard to copy, though. Anyone who's seen it could fake being him with it. Not exactly conclusive proof that that Frost was who you say he was. It's proof enough for Miss Bound. What matters is that she believed it. His true identity will have to be investigated by the good people of the precinct. Alright. Well, the boys look into it.
I should have known I couldn't hide it from you, Mr. Edgeworth.
To admit it, you were aware of who Mr. Frost really was.
I was. When I discovered his body, I saw the seal you found. Don't ask me how, but I just knew straight away that he was my dear Paul Halik. Imagine his entries in a confectionery contest were his final legacy,
A great man like that. And, be honest, did you enter Mr. Frost's room at any point?
What? Why are you asking me that?
The photograph of Mr. Frost's room. I'd like to know when it was taken.
Oh, I must have gotten it mixed up with the other one, with the one Samson took during the judging.
Objection!
Afraid I find that rather hard to believe. You said yourself that the camera ran out of film during the judging, and that you've had charge of the camera since before Mr. Tongadoa had the chance to visit Mr. Frost's room. That's how you were able to take that picture when you discovered Mr. Frost's body.
I suppose so.
This suggests that you only took 2 pictures with the new film. One of Mr. Frost's body and one of his room. I have a piece of evidence that says otherwise.
You do?
Which piece of evidence contradicts the assumption that Miss Bound only took 2 pictures? I suppose it's the fact that there's only 3 pictures remaining. Filled it up right beforehand, then like we're missing like a lot of pictures. It's like, what, 15 of them? What we need?
Take that!
The camera. You gave the picture of the body to the police and the picture of Mr. Frost's room to me. Oh, and you gave us that picture you took of me and Edward, too. Oh, I forgot about that one. So I guess we are missing 14 pictures. 3 photographs in total, but the film cartridge in this camera only has 3 exposures remaining. Out of a total of 20. You took more pictures, and I want to know what of. I need to see all the photos you took. Perhaps then we'll finally learn what you were really up to.
I'm so sorry. I confess, I've been lying to you.
Oh. These are all shots of Frost's room.
I'm so sorry.
Looks like she took pictures of his work from every possible angle. And when they were taken, the ice still hadn't melted yet. Wait, don't tell me it was you.
It was. At least, I'm pretty sure it was.
You are? Why?
You see, I'm a huge fan of Mr. Leake's work, as you know. I was petrified to think they might be ruined with the investigation going on and everything. So I thought I should at least capture the sculptures on film for posterity.
And how did that make them melt?
I think perhaps I was so intent on getting the perfect photographs that I might have tripped over the power cord without noticing.
My mistake, are you sure?
I didn't notice at the time, but, well, how could I have been so careless as to cause the loss of his final masterpieces?
Seems a little too convenient to me. Not sure I believe it. But I'm not in a position to refute it either.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cause any trouble.
Please, don't worry about it. The important thing is that you told us the truth.
What he said. No hard feelings, Miss Bound.
Thank you. Mr. Edgeworth. Pictures. Picture's yours. Hope it helps. Miss Frost's room updated. 2 photos, one from Bound and one from Detective Bed. Cool. Are you infernal nuisances still here? You don't know when to give up. Linger for as long as you like. The answer is still the same. You're not part of this investigation. whether we're part of it or not, we'll uncover the truth nonetheless. Seems you don't know when to shut up either. I commend you on your stubbornness.
Mr. Von Karma, I'm afraid I'm the one responsible for Mr. Frost's work melting.
What is the meaning of this?
I'm so sorry, and to you, Mr. Gusto.
No concern of mine. I didn't do anything. Mr. Von Karma agrees. Nothing at all, Mr. Gusto. You went into Mr. Frost's room, didn't you? Perhaps you could tell us why. Sure, I was... Silence. You want to give the attorney even the tiny shred of information. Duty bound, you're coming with me. I have reason to believe that you are an accomplice of the accused Samson Tangaroa.
No, I
will be interrogating you personally, so you would better get your story in order.
I understand.
Wait, please, I'm not done questioning her myself. I don't think I care because... Bad. Gusto. And you, Scone. I have questions for all of you, and I expect answers. Fine by me. Fine by me.
Oh, you could at least ask nicely, mannequins.
He took literally everyone with him. Indeed. I suppose that means there's little point in us hanging around either. Perhaps it's time we got going anyway. It's rather late. Hope the snow is on up. You're right. Home time! I guess my stomach's in agreement too. Alright, let's go grab a burger. My own stomach starts grumbling too. Sounds good to me. Let's eat up and rest up. We need to be fighting fit for tomorrow. Well, indeed. Our first port of call will be with Mr. Tangaroa. Save progress. December 25th, 10 a.m. Detention Center, Visitors Room. Hey, it's Miss Bound.
Oh, Mr. Fender. Mr. Edgeworth. I'm so sorry about what happened yesterday.
She looks rather tired. Has Mr. Von Karma finished interrogating you?
Yes, though he only really seemed interested in how it... He really only seemed interested in how I melted those sculptures.
Are you here to see Mr. Tangaroa too?
Yes, I'm terribly worried about him.
What are you doing over there? Detective Bad, what are you doing back there? Just happened to be here. I'll be heading back to the scene soon. Not sure how anyone just happens to be at a detention center, but okay. What happened to you? Your hair was not that color last I saw you. What was your voice even like? I don't remember. Good morning.
Mr. Tangaroa, what happened to you? Oh no. Samson, what did they do to you?
They didn't seem to want to let me sleep. I had no idea interrogations could be so involved. Sorry if I seem distracted. I think I'm a little tired. I'm not letting you sleep.
That's not police work, that's torture. What's going on here, Detective Bad?
I'm not the one doing the interviewing. It's the guy they put on the case before me. I like Von Karma's methods about as much as you do. That's why I'm doing what I can to help. Oops. I was just readjusting my position. I shouldn't hit a button. It was Detective Bad who got me out of there. I'd still be in that interrogation room right now if it weren't for him. Detective Bad really is trying to look out for Mr. Tongoro in his own way, it seems. Alright, Eddie, let's share yesterday's findings with Mr. Tongoro. You got it, Mr. E. My notepad is at the ready. Mr. Tongoro found out quite a bit, if you'd like to hear it. Of course, thank you. Are you alright, Mr. Tongoro? You seem kind of spaced out. I'm fine. I just think my blood sugar might be running a little low. Samson. You have anything that might give him a little energy boost? I have some chocolate for you. I'll stick it through the holes for sound, I guess. Have chocolate. I don't know how else you're getting it. Huh? This chocolate for me? Oh, those are the chocolates I wish I could just give them to you, Mr. Tongoro. The rules here don't exactly allow me to do so. Oh, that's a shame, but rules are rules, I suppose. Must be some way we can hand them to him. Detective Bad should just be able to like walk over here and come back to him over there. He can do that. He works here. I hope Detective Bad is noting the meaningful looks in his direction. Let me take a look at them. If they seem legit, I might consider passing them on to the suspect. Thank you, Detective Bad. My hero! I'm touched. Thank you, Detective. Yeah, whatever. Sit tight. Here. You don't know how much this means to me. Yeah. Keep it down, will ya? For both of our sakes. Of course, Detective. I wouldn't wish to put your livelihood at risk. Now, sample these treats. Detective, I apologize for putting you in a tight spot. Oof, I didn't do it for you. It was my call. It was my call. Yes, you're not such a bad guy after all. Oh, the sweetness. I feel like a man reborn. Are they your handiwork, Judy? Yes. How were they? I feel them melt. Soft and smooth. Chocolate that'll comfort and soothe. Okay. It's presumably meant to be going along to the song in the background, but I am not aware. Ear to ear, head to toe, smile and savor the taste as it flows. Having a good time eating chocolate. Delicious. They're not exactly beautiful, but they're sweet and oh so flavorful. Thank you, Judy. I'm so glad you like them. And I'm glad you're back to your old self. My apologies, friends. The food they serve here is just so flavorless. Between that and the lack of sleep, I was about ready to collapse from sheer despair. Wow, is the food here really all that bad? Just the usual. French fries, ham sandwich, stuff like that. Yes, and yet I couldn't taste a thing. Anyway, I'm heading back to the scene. Before you go, Detective, do you have any new information to share? Oh, yeah, you were right about the victim's identity. Ross worked as a sculptor in France, where he was known as Paul Halik. Roddy Frost was Paul Halik? I never would have imagined. Poor Mr. Halik. So the famous French sculptor wasn't a Frenchman after all, huh? This all would certainly explain why Mr. Halik was such a recluse and refused to show his face in public. He was busy working on his greatest masterpiece, apparently. A bunch of Zodiac statues. Guess he'll never finish them now.
He never finished his greatest masterpiece?
Seems he was making statues for each season. But never got around to the winter constellations. The winter constellations? You mean Taurus and Gemini? So the two he made out of ice would have completed the set. And now they're nothing but puddles. What a bummer.
I'm so sorry. Oh, no, Miss Bound, I wasn't blaming you.
One last thing, since he had been such a bit of a spending habit when it came to his work. Every statue cost him millions to make. Which means he was always strapped for cash. Checking to see if there's any chance someone called in a debt.
I guess not even famous artists are safe from money problems.
Do you have any idea why he entered the confectionery contest? None. I didn't even tell his family. Let's see. I mean, presumably he wanted the prize. Figured ice wouldn't be too hard to work with, considering he worked with other stuff. Alright, I really gotta get going. I'll go fetch another guard. I can't be hanging around here any longer. Understood, Detective. I'll see you again shortly. He's a good man. Certainly is. An uncompromising one. Somebody who can be trusted to stand up for what he believes in.
And to scare the pants off anybody new he meets.
Now, you're going to tell me about what you learned yesterday. Of course, allow me to give you a full report. Thank you for that. Allow me to apologize on Judy's behalf.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine, Mr. Tangaroa. As told her yesterday, the important thing is that we learn the truth in the end. Now, do you mind if I ask you a question or two? By all means, I'll gladly share all I can. What can you tell me about the contestants who took part in the final round of the contest? Let's see, there was Miss Scone. I loved her design concept. Fortunately, her entry was in violation of the rules, so I had to disqualify her. Mr. Gusto's creations were a perfect balance of flavor and design, at least up through the semi-final. But disappointingly, his entry for the final was subpar on both counts. And there was actually something a little unusual about his entry for the semi-final as well. Which was, it's identical to Mr. Frost's. It may have looked different, but I could have sworn I was eating the same thing. That's odd. He was making sugar. The other guy was making ice. And What exactly does the works look like? Oh, there should be a photograph back at my mansion.
I'll show it to you later, Mr. Edgeworth.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated, Miss Bound. Mr. Frost's entry for finals. That was truly sublime. So you were able to finish judging it. Even though his body had been discovered in the meantime. Yes, I wasn't aware of what happened until after I'd completed my assessment. Mr. Frost wasn't in his room when I visited, so I took the liberty of sampling a bit. Part of the lyre, I believe. I'd never tasted anything like it! It was like a dream. I was so moved that I burst into song. I'm sorry, but are you saying that the lyre tasted good? I'd like to hear more about that, if you don't mind. You are quite certain it was the lyre you tasted when you sampled Mr. Frost's work. I'm certain of it. It was part of the Gemini sculpture, which was the only sculpture in that display case. Mr. Tangaroa, would you mind taking a look at this photograph for me? The part you tried was the lyre, the one shown here without any strings. Oh, there were strings originally. That was the part I ate. So the strings were missing because Mr. Tangaroa ate them all. And he enjoyed them? Miss Scone told us she ate a part of the lyre as well, but she said it was far too salty for her to finish. That is true. The truth is, I've suspected for a while there might be something wrong with my sense of taste. Something wrong? How so exactly? There's a taste disorder characterized by an inability to detect salty flavors. I suspect I've been suffering from it. I ate so many sweet foods on a daily basis that it took a while for me to even notice. But there's no denying it now. I'll explain why the food in here seems so bland to him.
What? But your taste buds are your livelihood.
Even if there was some long-term treatment option, only doubt a total cure for your condition exists. Nevertheless, you should put in a request to the police for a proper evaluation. Oh, that won't be necessary. I have a recipe for a cure back at my mansion. You do? You can take a look at it for yourself if you'd like.
Samson, we can't show that recipe to just anybody.
Judy, Mr. Edgeworth is hardly just anybody. He's my attorney, and I have no secrets from him.
Yes, you're right, of course. If that is what you wish.
What on earth is this secret recipe for a miracle cure that they've been hiding? Odd.
Well, I suppose I should be getting back.
Alright, we'll be right behind you. Judy.
Yes, Samson?
There's more to life than just me. Please, Judy, think about the life you want to live. Because I won't always be around.
Don't say that. Without you, I don't have a life to live. So I'll be waiting right at the mansion until you come home. Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait, Miss Bound.
Judy.
Oh, she seemed really upset. I thought I saw tears in her eyes. Why'd you even say all that to her?
Because I worry about her. She can't keep putting my needs ahead of her own. What do you mean? A elite collection. Candy making. It's all because she thinks these things will make me happy. She never thinks about what she wants, what she likes. I just want her to be her own person and to choose her own destiny. The last thing I want is for her to miss out on all that life has to offer because of me.
I
I guess that makes sense. He really does see her as his own child. What parent wouldn't want their child to walk their own path? What parent would do everything they could to protect them? I don't know exactly how he feels in this moment. I think I've asked of you everything I can for now, Mr. Tangaroa. We should be getting back to the scene of the crime. Oh, leaving? I see. I suppose I'll be going back to the interrogation room for another session. Yes, we'll have to do something about that. You speak to the police for me. That too, but I'll be putting something else in place as well. An ace up our sleeve for when the time comes. I look forward to learning more. I'm counting on you, Mr. Edgeworth. We'll be back to brief you, Mr. Tangaroa, every day. And Judy, too. Thank you, Eddie. I'll look forward to it. Mr. Tangaroa, the interrogator will do everything in his power to extract a confession from you. I hate to see an innocent man suffer like this. Please, you have to do everything you can to hold out. If you can't, Mr. Von Karma will use that confession against you for as long as this case lasts. And it will make it that much harder for me to save you. I understand. And I'll try. I won't give up until you're out of there, Mr. Tangaroa. You have my word on that. December 25th, 11:03 a.m. Contest venue, Fountain Room. Detective Bad, thank you again for what you did earlier. Yeah, thanks a ton. What are you talking about? There's no need to be shy about it. Never mind that now. Guess you two are back here, looking to investigate some more. We are indeed. We need something solid if we're going to save Mr. Tangaroa. I hate to break it to you, but apart from this room, the whole place is on lockdown. We need to see those other rooms. This is Mr. Von Karma's doing, I presume. Who else? I haven't seen the autopsy report yet either. That's probably got a hand in that too. I don't expect to speak with anybody except those cops and Miss Bound. Everybody else is gone. I doubt Von Karma will be handing out phone numbers. Is this all just a game, Tim? Why does he have to go so far? What's your plan of action, Detective? Same as before. Do what I can to help you uncover the truth. Like I promised. You have my gratitude. Stretch. Just you wait, Mr. Von Karma. We're gonna beat you with your bag of dirty tricks. Detective, may we conduct a brief investigation in the area? Sure. Like I said, everywhere else is out of off bounds. Probably won't be seeing those rooms again. It's fine, as long as there's at least some way of continuing our investigation, we'll make do. Alright. First off, I got a couple new things. I want to just take a closer look at them. We can make picture comparisons. Tools on the back didn't move. Now melted, box is gone. lighting is different, but I think that might just be because the light is being reflected through the ice, so it changed back there. Not much else, I guess. What are you doing? A moment of your time, Eddie. Sure thing, Mr. E, what's up? Do you have any thoughts on the case? Oh, you bet I do. Mr. Tangaro's amazing display being used to store the body. Mr. Scone's beautiful dreamscape being used to store the murder weapon. We're really seeing some beautiful things being used for ugly purposes on this case, huh? I suppose we are. To make things worse, Miss Bounce seems super down. When asked if you had any thoughts on the case, I was thinking about more about useful insights. Oh, sorry, Mr. E, did I do something wrong? I worry about you sometimes, Eddie. Let's hear about you. How are you liking your first crime scene investigation, Eddie? Oh, it's great. I've been taking notes about everything and I'm learning so much. So happy to let me tag along, Mr. Edgeworth. So you want to be an attorney, huh? I just worked my throat. Bye. So you want to be an attorney, huh? You bet I do. I'd give anything to be a hero of justice, to help the helpless and fight for what's right. The first time I saw Mr. Reed was thinking court, I knew I'd found my calling. No, cops look out for people too. Sure, but I want to be an attorney. Well, good luck to you. I get the feeling Detective Bad might be pining for an apprentice of his own. How old is this guy? 15. We have instruments. Seems these instruments are used on Mr. Tongado and Mr. Bound's TV show, Bacon Bob. There's some of the few things in here that aren't made of candy. Just me, or does the detective seem a little disappointed? Drum set. The drum set here, decorated to look as if it were made out of cakes. Must play it on Bacon Bob. Detective, about these drums. I already checked. There's nothing inside any of them. No sign of anything having been put inside or taken out either. They're not relevant to the case. Already done your homework, I see. I may like lollipops a little too much, but I'm no sucker. Piano. Disinterest in piano. Santa Claus. Santa Claus statue. Is it made of candy too? That door leads to Tangaro's room, so yeah, could be he made that thing too. Speaking of Santa, reminds me, I still need to find a present for Miles. He wanted an attorney's badge. Wonder if Mr. Tangaro would make one out of candy for me if I asked. How's the pond? The statues on the fountain depict cherubs enjoying some chocolate fondue. Paul Halik's work, apparently. Gonna hand it to him. They look so real. Detective, are you saying you have you've personally seen cherubs before? Attorneys poking hole in people's words. What did I do something wrong? What you looking for? Excuse me, may I ask what you're investigating? Sir, I'm analyzing the fountain water to see what might be in it, sir. Poison. Also sugar. And what did you find? Chocolate and what looks like the kind of flavorings and colorings used in frozen desserts, sir. The composition of the chocolate seems to be the same as that in Mr. Tangaro's work. And the flavorings and colorings match the profile of those used in Mr. Frost's ice sculptures. Oh wait, poison wouldn't be there yet. That's later. The little rivers flow from all 4 artists' rooms right here to this fountain. Guess that's how the stuff from the melted sculptures wound up in there. And that's not all, sir. We also found blood. What? Why is there blood in the water? Think back to our investigation of the murder scene, detective. Take another look at the scene in front of us, detective. A very conspicuous pool of blood that should be here is clearly missing. Someone would have had to take some time to melt it. I don't think any of the rooms were warm enough for that to happen. Right. I don't remember anybody mentioning they've removed the blood along with the body. The victim's blood was mysteriously absent. This was the part of the chocolate chest that had been pulled on. I believe that the blood probably belonged to... I mean, it was definitely in there with him, but at the same time, why would you need to remove his blood from under his body? If we're asking this early, I suppose it'd be...
Take that!
The victim, huh? I'll have the guy compare it. Blood on the murder weapon. And the blood in the body. What's that noise? It's a match. The blood in the fountain is Frost's. But why would you need to take the blood away from where the body is? Why would you need that? Like, there's a body there. You don't need to remove the blood. And now you found it in there, and it is the victim's blood. So was there something else about the fact that it was there that would have revealed something? Something else. I don't know. But why would somebody want to send the victim's blood downstream and into the fountain like this? Exactly. Victim's blood. Frost blood was found in the fountain, but not at the scene of the crime. It's very odd. Unless chocolate and blood were put in separately to make it look like that's what happened, and something else happened with that. I guess that's an option? The sign which... This sign shows which artist's work is on display in which room. From left to right, Mr. Tangaroa, Mr. Gusto, Miss Scone, and Mr. Frost. Incidentally, this sign is also made from candy. What were they going to do with all this candy? Was somebody going to eat it when the contest was over? There's a lyre here, and some maracas designed to look like ice cream cones. They're so well made that it's hard to tell what's candy and what's not just by looking. Reach out and touch them, but then we'll be disturbing the crime scene. Hands off. I already checked them out. They're real. talked about how exactly did you manhandle vital evidence, detective? I didn't touch them. Not with my hands, at least. Did he... Never mind, I don't picture it. Biting. Was found. We're here to continue on investigation. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm so sorry about earlier. She's still looking kind of down in the dumps, Mr. E. She must have been greatly taken aback by what Mr. Tangaroa had to say. I found the photograph of the semi-final entries for you. Here, it's all yours. Wow, Miss Sconger knows how to make a cute cake. These are really nice. Got a phoenix, a unicorn, butterflies. Weird that the phoenix and unicorn are both the same colors. But I guess that's fine. Yes. Oh, yes, Samson loved her design for that one. And he loved the designs and flavors of Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost's entries too. Only problem was, as Samson mentioned earlier, they tasted exactly the same. Right. However, the respected entries for the final tasted nothing like, it seems. Is there anything else of note that changed between the semi-final and the final? Nothing major, but I guess there was one thing. Mr. Gusto's son was always here with him throughout the contest, but he was nowhere to be seen during the final. Son? Why would his son come and hang out at a contest venue of all places? You're sure you're happy for us to keep hold of this? Of course, I'll pursue your investigation. Oh, and I also have the book containing the recipe for the cure Samson mentioned. I've seen this book before. It was in the chocolate frame in Tangaroa's room. That's right, he put it on display in there so that everyone could see the grand prize. The cure is in the ultimate cookbook? So it's not a book of dessert recipes, I take it. Oh, no. We told the contestants, of course. But I guess nobody told you yet. The contestants all knew what the ultimate cookbook was this whole time. Cure for taste disorders and other chemical and pharmaceutical items. So that would be a reason, Miss Scone might want it. Though, I sort of don't know why other people would care at that point then. I mean, it seems generally helpful. I feel like maybe that sort of information should be public knowledge. Like, cake recipes are one thing, but that's like medical stuff. You should maybe let everyone have the medical information. I'd like to hear more about the cookbook, if you don't mind, Miss Bound. So if I understand correctly, the Ultimate Cookbook is actually a collection of recipes for different medicines. Exactly, or rather totally new medications that haven't made it to market yet, to be precise. To the right buyer, for a pharmaceutical company, for example, it would be worth a fortune. But why make that the grand prize in a confectionery contest? Mr. Tangaroa is the sole heir to the Tangaroa family fortune. Perhaps you've heard of the Tangaroa group? The Tangaroa Group? Yeah, I think I've heard them somewhere before. It's a major pharmaceutical corporation. It sells all kinds of pills and poisons. I don't think they should be selling poisons, actually. Oh yeah, that new Cold Killer Pro's been making some real waves since it went on sale. I always reach for Cold Killer while I'm feeling under the weather. Which is never, as far as I've seen. I'd like to hear more about the Tangaroa Group, if you don't mind. So did Mr. Tangaroa not want to take over for his parents and go into the family business?
No, he preferred the idea of making people's lives better through the power of confectionery. His parents supported him in his quest to become the best in the world. Then, when they passed away, he inherited the cookbook.
Why would he make such a valuable heirloom a mere contest prize?
He's been hounded by so many people looking to make that book their own. He was tired of it.
I mean, if there's no legal complications otherwise, which presumably there wouldn't be if people were trying to get their hands on it for that, why don't you just start making copies? Publish the thing. Everyone get book. I don't think I understand.
But it would have been an insult to his parents' memory simply to give it away. So he decided to find somebody he felt was worthy of it.
But the board of directors loved that. Handing over the fruits of all their expensive research to someone else.
They hated the idea, of course. Which is why Delicia entered the contest. The Tangaroa Group wanted her to win the book back for them.
So you knew she was a pharmacist all along?
Yes, not only that. I told her how to appeal to Samson's tastes. I tried to help her win.
Why?
I wanted to protect Samson by protecting the Tangaroa Group. If that cookbook fell into another company's hands, the board would never forgive him. So I wanted to find a way to keep it with the company, but in a way that Samson couldn't object to.
So that's how Miss Stone managed to make it so far in a contest she had no business taking part in. But Miss Scone wasn't the only person pretending, was she? Mr. Frost wasn't really a confectioner either. And he still made it all the way to the final, just like she did. Not bad.
Yes, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Such a talented sculptor and a gifted crafter of desserts, too.
Gifted indeed, judging by the standard of his work in the final. How did one man produce pieces of that size and quality in such a short period of time?
Not sure I have much more to tell you. But if there's anything else I can help you with, I'd be happy to, of course.
She's certainly very keen to ensure that she does all she can for Mr. Tangaroa. Could certainly use a cup of the tea you made us yesterday, if you wouldn't mind. I think that might help move the investigation along nicely. Oh, I'll have some too. Your tea is to die for, Miss Bound.
Well, how could I possibly refuse? I'll bring it right out.
You know, I think that cheered her up a little. Investigation complete. I didn't get to look at the rest of the room. I guess the other things weren't important. We learned a little more about the contest participants. Still one question involving Mr. Gusto, for which we never got an answer. Nothing at all, Mr. Gusto. You went into Mr. Frost's room, didn't you? Perhaps you could tell us why. Sure, I was... Silence! You are not to give the attorney even the tiniest shred of information. What was he doing in Mr. Frost's room? He was pretty willing to tell you, so it probably wasn't anything bad. Or at least, he had an excuse ready, at least. And that's not all. I also have questions about what work he submitted for the semi-finals. Confectioner who admits to lacking design sense, a sculptor with it in spades. Mr. Gusto could not have hoped to win such a high-level contest by himself. Which is why I'm beginning to wonder if there was some sort of connection between him and Mr. Frost. Detective. I need to ask Mr. Gusto a few more questions. The story still doesn't add up for me. Me neither. I need to figure out how to get in touch with him. Oh, do you now? Oh, you. Oh, do you now? Good luck with that, because I have no intention of allowing it. Can we check the phone book? Can you just find him? Does he have a website? Mr. Von Karma. I'm already in the midst of my own investigation into Gusto. There's no need for the likes of you to pester him with the same questions again. I will, however, be happy to answer any questions you might have. Seems dead set on preventing me from talking to Mr. Gusto. In which case, fine, allow me to take you up on your offer. Very well. What is it? I'd like you to tell me about the connection between Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost. Gusto and Frost connection. The connection between Gusto and Frost. Simply a matter of coincidence. They both happen to be taking part in the same contest. Not a lot to say. And that's all. And that's all. That's all I have to say to you. What? But that doesn't help us at all! We'll have to confront him with evidence if we want to draw the truth out of him. And it's imperative that we do. He's clearly hiding something. Alright. Pressing is not gonna help. He probably won't do anything if I do pressing. Yes, there must have been a connection of some kind. If you would cease your baseless interruptions, I will happily tell you what it is. If this were a courtroom, I would have you removed for contempt. But isn't that solely the judge's purview? Yeah, Judge Von Karma would probably have to dance into his tune. What? Even judges are scared of him? Won't be an easy trial, that's for sure. Please, Mr. Von Karma, continue. It's simply a matter of coincidence.
Hold it!
Granted, it may have simply been a coincidence that they both entered the same competition. That doesn't rule out a connection of some other kind between the two of them.
Objection!
I do hate to repeat myself, but if you do not have any pertinent evidence, then kindly keep your mouth shut. Guess I'll just do as he says for now. At least until I find the evidence that proves Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost's connection. Still, the look in your eyes speaks volumes. I'll go on then, what are you trying to say? Make up your mind, will you? Should I keep my mouth shut or not? See if Mr. Von Karma is keen at keeping us away from the truth. Which means the truth must be inconvenient to him somehow, right? Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost had something in common. Just seemed to present the thing they shared to Mr. Von Karma. This one.
Objection!
I wonder if you could take a look at the two confections in the foreground for me, Mr. Von Karma. They were made for the contest semi-finals. Both are quite exquisitely crafted, wouldn't you agree? Get to the point. As the nameplate suggests, these were Mr. Gusteau and Mr. Frost's entries. Mr. Gusteau told us that confectionery design was far from his strong suit. And yet, his work in the picture is just as good as Mr. Frost's. Exactly as good, in fact. We learned from another witness that their two entries also tasted exactly the same.
Objection.
What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that they were helping one another out. Take a closer look, shall we? Well, at first glance, the two may appear to be superficially different. It soon becomes apparent that there are significant similarities in how they were put together. Are made with the same ingredients, taste the same, and share a similar design aesthetic. But this picture is proof positive that the two were working together. If you figured that much out, I suppose there's little point in denying it. Strong Karma knew all along that they were cooperating. But I'll warn you, none of what you are about to hear will be to your advantage. Gusteau and Frost's real connection. Let me confirm what you seem so desperate to prove. Gusteau and Frost were indeed working together. Gusteau spelled out the details of his relationship to Frost during his questioning last night. It seems they were helping one another right up until the day before the final. So, you knew the two were cooperating. Mr. Von Karma, why are you trying to bury the truth?
Objection.
Please, enough with the petty slander. I merely wanted to avoid you poking your nose around before I could provide proper context in court. It simply slipped my mind to explain that to you. Doesn't explain why he's being so slippery with the facts, though. I need to figure out what he's hiding. I can't let things end like this.
Hold it.
So you did know that there was a connection between the two. Why were you trying to hide it? I don't just hand out information like candy. Certainly not to the defense. Not like that lollipop-nursing fool of a detective over there. You do things your way, and I'll do them mine. You wonder why I refuse to share information with a traitor like you. Gusteau spelled out the details of his relationship with Frost during his questioning last night.
Hold it.
Last night, after Mr. Frost's work melted, correct? Yes. I interviewed Gusteau personally. Yeesh, that one-on-one with Mr. Von Karma. That must have been terrifying. Imagine Mr. Gusteau probably meditated his way through the difficult parts. He certainly did not every time he closed his eyes. I brought him back with an almighty snap. No one dares plead the fifth with me. Did that even work on him? You're just a whole problem. Which we knew, but like, you were about to kill this man in a few days. And that is how I was able to perfectly learn every last detail of Gusteau and Frost's relationship. It seems they were helping one another right up until the day before the final.
Hold it.
Why were they cooperating? Gusto's sense of design is subpar, and Frost was an amateur confectioner at best. Neither of them stood a chance at making it through the contest alone. So what was their end game? Why cooperate only until the day before the finals? Gusto claims to have ended the scheme. Allegedly, he wanted to win the final on his own merits. What even was his final thing? I guess it probably doesn't matter. His one and only goal was to be crowned the world's best confectioner. His pride would not allow him to do so with the help of another. Cheaters can only ever win hollow victories, I guess. I'm under the impression their collaboration had only lasted through the semi-finals. I'm starting to think it might have lasted up through the final itself. Mr. Von Karma, I'd like to ask you some more about how long they worked together for, if you don't mind. You must. Still sense design. That seems a bit wonder. Before you ask, I'm not objecting to your characterization of Mr. Gusto's design sense.
Yeah, he admitted himself he isn't all that great.
He made what he alleged to be a likeness of me. Just thinking of the abomination he came out with turns my stomach. Yeah, I kinda like the guy's work. Artistically rich amateur and an artistically impoverished professional. A way it's inevitable if they would wind up working together. They cooperated until the day before the final, and decided to compete on their own merits.
Hold it!
I really believe that they were cooperating until the day before the finals, and then just simply stopped. It seemed a little strange to me, wouldn't you agree?
Objection!
I've told you the truth. Whether you find it strange or not is none of my concern. I was concerned enough trying to hide it from me only a few minutes ago, though. Which means there must have been a reason for that. Based on Mr. Tangado's assessment, it sounded as if Mr. Frost's entry for the final was the clear winner.
Which means he must have still been working with Mr. Gusto, right?
That's precisely what I was thinking. I just have some evidence that proves they were cooperating right up to the finals. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Like this.
Objection!
They weren't working together during the finals. I find that a little hard to believe. Miss Scone is on record as having described Mr. Frost's creations as scrumptious. And while he was certainly skilled, I doubt even he could have become a world-class confectioner overnight. Seems far more likely to me that he and Mr. Gusto were still cooperating during the finals.
Objection!
How many times must I explain this to you? Assertions require proof, and one person's entirely subjective statement is not proof of anything. Besides, even amateurs can occasionally make delicious food. Perhaps Frost was simply lucky. My wife, for example, is an amateur whose cooking puts first-class chefs to shame. You don't seem like the kind of person who would have a wife. I guess you have a daughter, now that I think about it. So she must have come from somewhere. But mostly I think no one could stand you. Now, is that not an entirely subjective statement? Furthermore, you are ignoring another crucial part of the pharmacist's testimony. Namely, that she also describes some of Frost's work as having been unbearably salty. In other words, where evidence actually shows that Frost failed to produce the perfect confectionery. No more objections, I take it. There must be some way I can prove that Gusto and Frost were still collaborating.
Stree, there's something that's been on my mind.
Yes, what is that, Eddie?
Mr. Frost's entry for the finals, wouldn't it have taken a while to make?
I imagine so.
Making flavored water, freezing it all, and then carving 2 whole sculptures? Could he really have done all that and help Mr. Gusteau with his work? If it was me, I'd have barely gotten as far as setting the flavored water up to the freeze part. I just can't see how Mr. Frost could have pulled it off.
Perhaps there's some lawyerly instinct in you after all, Eddie. Your pondering certainly helped point to another possibility. And he's right. Mr. Frost would have needed to freeze his own large blocks of flavored ice to create his art. There wouldn't have been time to do that during the contest itself. So what must Mr. Frost have done in order to finish his flavored ice entry within the time limit? I mean, I guess you just make it ahead of time? Now there's something else entirely, that doesn't fit. It's good tasting. Must have made the flavored ice the day before. And all he would have to do, and all he would have had to do was sculpt it. What are you muttering about now? Oh, I'm sorry, I just realized something, that's all. I realized you're correct.
What, Mystery?
Hope you know what you're doing. Oh, accepting defeat at last, are we? The only thing I'm accepting is perhaps one of the things you said was true. They were helping one another right up until the day before the final. Just as you said, the day before the final really did mark the end of their collaboration. Mr. Frost's entry was carved entirely from blocks of flavored ice. Ice which would have needed at least a day to freeze, and whose flavors would therefore have already been prepared by Mr. Gusteau. Yes, which lines up perfectly with what Gusteau told me, that he helped Frost until the day before the final. In that case, why did Mr. Frost reciprocate and help Mr. Gusteau in return? I can hardly be expected to read the minds of the dead.
Objection!
Perhaps not, but I imagine Mr. Gusteau could tell us. So why don't you let us speak with him? You still insist your interrogation was as thorough as you claim. How dare you call my methods into question? It's not my intention. I just don't understand why you would obstruct a perfectly valid line of inquiry. Give me one good reason as to why you're keeping Mr. Gusteau from me. One good reason, certainly. How and why Frost and Gusteau's collaboration has absolutely no bearing on this case.
Objection!
How can you possibly say that with any certainty? If the relationship had broken down for some reason, it could very well have been the motive behind this murder. But indeed. Why did Gusteau himself tell me all about it? Why did the man seem so keen on accusing Cher? Why Why did the man you seem so keen on accusing share the details of his collaboration with the prosecution? Please tell me you have some proof to back up your preposterous suspicions this time. Mr. Gusteau only acted suspiciously one time that we know of. I can imagine Mr. Montcalm is aware of exactly what that suspicious action was. Which means it's probably a trap. Well, cat got your tongue. But even if this is a trap, can't back down now. Mr. Gusteau snuck into Mr. Frost's room, and we still don't know why. That fact alone is reason enough to suspect him. If that's your only concern, then allow me to clear it up for you. I knew it. It was a trap. Saving this for the trial. Consider it a taste of things to come. Plus, I'd hate for the proceedings to drag on because of your needless interjections. Here, take a look at this. That's... Welcome, new students. Looks like their kids go to school together or something. Why is your child shaved? Stowe and Frost and their sons. Family photo under the court record. Stowe's son visited his father daily up to the semi-final. Which one is that? Probably the one in front of him. I don't think. Stowe snuck into Frost's room in order to retrieve this photograph. But why? Seems their sons attended the same elementary school. Stowe was concerned that the fact of Mr. Frost and his acquaintance might place him under suspicion. A concern that you have just proved was entirely well-founded. Stowe's actions make perfect sense, and you have given me no reason to believe otherwise. It's never going to let me talk to Mr. Gusteau. Now, if you are quite done obstructing my investigation, I have things to be getting on with. Smug, self-righteous jerk! I'll give him something to be getting on with. Wouldn't they have needed to register for the contest or something? At least in some way, could you ask Miss Bound if she, like, got their phone numbers in that process somewhere? That seems like a thing you should do. What do we do, Mr. E? Mr. Tangados is finished. Tangado is finished if we can't figure something out. Things to be getting on. Things to be getting on with. What exactly could those things be? There's a body, a murder weapon, and a suspect in custody. The prosecution means to pursue Mr. Tangaroa. Surely they have all they need. Or is Mr. Montcalm still investigating the scene of the crime? If he doesn't do that, he can't keep you out of it. Something on your mind, Mr. E? I'm missing something. Something important. Mr. Montcalm has everything he needs to proceed with the prosecution of Mr. Tangaroa. And yet, he still doesn't seem entirely confident of his case. If he was, why refuse to share information with Detective Bad? Who else? Haven't seen the autopsy report yet either. That's probably got a hand in that too. 24 hours post-murder and there's still no autopsy report. In addition, we still haven't solved the mystery of what happened to the evidence that went missing. Take another look at the scene in front of us, Detective. A very conspicuous pool of blood that should be here is clearly missing. Right. Remember anybody mentioning they removed the blood along with the body? Evidence that turned up not in Mr. Tangaro's room, but in a most unusual place. It's a match. The blood in the fountain is frost. That flashed weird. So there were no traces of Mr. Frost's blood left in Mr. Tangaro's room. Whoops. Yet we found some in the fountain instead. Why? I mean, you throw the chunk in the water, but like, to what end? Mr. Frost's blood went missing from the crime scene. Traces of it showed up in the fountain. Why go to the trouble of removing the blood from the scene after the body has been discovered? And why only the blood? Surely the body would have also been in the way? Wait, could someone have moved the body aside to get to the blood? Give me a minute. Don't do that. Someone move the body aside. Get the blood in the chest. The body might have been moved aside, or even removed from the scene of the crime entirely. After all, as far as we know, there's still no autopsy report. We've learned plenty about the murder weapon and the suspect, but very little about the body itself. Our assumption thus far has been that the body had been recovered by the forensics team. What if that assumption is false? Oh, they just don't have a body at all? And that's why it's ended up in the pond in the future? Has it just been in a freezer this whole time? What if Mr. Von Karma wouldn't show Detective Ban the autopsy report out of something other than spite? What if we've been thinking about this the wrong way around all along? The question is, why did Mr. Von Karma hold back information? Why did Mr. Von Karma hold back information about the body? Did Mr. Von Karma even have any information about the body in the first place? How do things look from that angle? Perhaps the body hadn't been removed by the police in order to carry out an autopsy. Perhaps it had already been removed and hidden away by the culprit before their arrival. A mystery! We've both heard the rumors about Mr. Von Karma's questionable methods. Fabricated witness statements, shady deals, forged evidence even. Sure, everybody's heard of that stuff, but what's that got to do with us right now? I'll never judge a person on the basis of rumors alone. Even Mr. Von Karma. Trying my best not to let my preconceptions color our interactions with him. Nonetheless, it appears he may indeed be willing to twist the truth to his own ends. Twist the truth? You mean he's been playing dirty? Fear he might have been, and still is. I'm not about to let him get away with it. I'm returning to the prosecutor's office. Don't breathe a word about anything to that infernal attorney. Yes, sir.
Hold it!
No, I'm here to yell at you. Yes, what is it now? I have a few questions, Mr. Von Karma, about a certain fact you've been keeping from us. Really? You mean to call the methods of an officially sanctioned investigation into question yet again? I'm warning you, if you obstruct the police in their work any further, there will be consequences.
Objection!
It's not the police I have an issue with, Mr. Von Karma. It's you. What? Isn't it on the prosecution to work out who the real culprit of a crime is? Foolishness is this. I have no intention of debating what the prosecution's role is or is not with the likes of you. Let me make one thing clear. My job is to identify suspects and ensure that every last one of them is convicted at all costs. Believe me when I say I leave absolutely no room for doubt when I present my perfect, unassailable cases.
Objection!
How far would you go for your perfect cases? Would you create facts out of whole cloth, perhaps? Ha! I thought you would have done yourself already. Now you intend to accuse me of fabricating evidence. I do. Because it is why you've done nothing but hinder Detective Bad from doing his job at every turn. What are you talking about? You didn't shut him out of the investigation because you wanted him to keep an eye on us. You did it to stop him from finding out that you don't have the body. What? He doesn't have the body?
Objection!
Ridiculous. You're clutching at straws. I'll tolerate no more of your preposterous slander. And allow us to examine it. Prove me wrong if you can. I'm afraid you'll have to try a little harder than that. I'm under no obligation whatsoever to prove your baseless accusations one way or another.
Objection!
As you must have seen for yourself, a piece of bloodied chocolate is missing from the scene of the crime. Why did it disappear? And where did it go? What does it matter? Some blood was missing from the chest where the body was found. So what? So what indeed? That is precisely my question. The body was still at the scene when the police got here. Removing the blood would accomplish nothing. However, let us suppose for a moment that the body was not. If somebody had wanted to erase any trace of what had happened in that room, then it all makes perfect sense.
Objection!
What is this petty obsession with the blood stain? But since it's so important to you, why don't you tell me where you believe it went? Of course, after all evidence is everything, as you never tire of telling us. I believe this should back up my theory quite nicely. What evidence do I have that shows where the blood from Mr. Tangaro's room went? Who's in the fountain?
Take that!
Traces of the victim's blood were found in the fountain, along with traces of the chocolate from Mr. Tangaro's room. I believe the missing piece of the blood-stained chocolates was dumped into the stream that flows to the fountain, which strongly points towards one certain fact. Someone purposely disposed of the blood after the body had been removed from the chest. Mr. Von Karma, where did you find the body? You didn't find it, did you? Answer me. Where did you get your hands on that kind of evidence? You have neither the authority nor the means to carry out that kind of analysis on the fountain water. No, I do. Curse you, Bad. You've been a thorn in my side from the moment you were assigned. But no longer. As of now, you are officially off the case. It's barely on in the first place. Mr. Von Karma, Mr. Hammond answered my question. Will you admit it? You confirm that no body was ever recovered. It's really quite the claim, you know. One that you'll never find any proof for, I'm afraid. What must I do to get an answer out of him? There's like a million other people here. There's all those cops. There's like the forensics team. Surely, at some point they would be like, yeah, no, we don't have one of those. Like even if they're not gonna say it, like you can't just fully hide it. It'll be in reports and whatever. Now, if you don't mind, I've given you quite enough of my precious time already. I look forward to destroying you in court, Gregory Edgeworth. Your precious logic and theories won't save you then. Nothing will. Mark my words, Mr. Von Karma. Your methods will be your undoing. No matter how you try to hide the truth, I'll bring it all to light in the end. Forgive me, Detective. I didn't mean to put you in a difficult position. Don't sweat it. It's always gonna end this way. Honestly, nobody's ever sidelined me the way he did before. First time for everything, huh? No, you might be right about the body being missing. I am, and I'll prove it in court. Huh. If there's anything I can do to help, just say the word. Since, you know, I'm off the case now. It's very kind. I'm sorry to keep asking favors of you, Detective Bad. There is one more thing.
Hey, what are you guys whispering about?
Come on, let me in on the secret. Alright, the detective and I were just arranging a little insurance for the trial. I think we have enough to see Mr. Tangadoro acquitted, but I'd prefer to have an ace in the hole, just in case.
And what is it?
You'll find out in the courtroom.
Wait, what? You're letting me join you?
Of course I am. You are my assistant, after all.
I'll be more than that by next year. I'll be a full-fledged attorney, you know. We can take on Mr. Von Karma together.
Indeed. I'm hoping we'll have freed Mr. Tangadoro by then. But if we're up against Mr. Von Karma, I guess we can't rule out the possibility that this might take some time.
Right, but we'll do everything we can in the meantime. I know you can beat Mr. Von Karma, Mr. E. I believe in you.
We can't allow Mr. Tangadoro to remain in prison for a crime he didn't commit. We won't. I'll expose Mr. Von Karma's lies if it's the last thing I do.
And then you died.
Granted, that was after the court happened, but still.
Alright. So, it's a bit late. I'm going to go feed the dog. And the cats. I'll be back in a little bit. You should know, honey. I'm getting you your food. Where's my water? Just take this with me.
you orange? That's probably fine. Right, all is well. Yeah. Unstable. Why are you unstable? Anyway, I'm back. Animals have been fed. Is that actually... Okay, yeah, that's fine. It says unstable, but it looks like it's fine, so whatever. Now we'll get back in the game. Looks like we're getting back to the modern day. Kitty, why are you yelling? Ow, I just fed you. J-Paw. Oh, I don't know what his deal is. April 2nd, 2:10 p.m. Zodiac Hall, Fountain Room. Oops. How did my controller wire end up under these headphones? There we go. And that's pretty much how things went down. Those are the facts of IS-7 as far as I'm concerned. Finally learning the truth about my father's last case.
So, what happened to the trial?
Well, we lost. Well, Karma did a real number on us.
Really? You couldn't prove that Mr. Tangadoro was innocent?
Oh, we could prove it alright. Had a decent little pile of evidence in our favor. Problem was, we underestimated Von Karma. Fought even dirtier than we feared. You can imagine. Secure conviction at all costs. That's always his guiding principle. Yeah, ain't that the truth. Anywho, the trial dragged on and on. Whole thing took about a year in the end. Okay, not in a few days. I'll never forget the day the verdict came down. December 28th that following year. It's April now, so... Ooh, mama, we're talking over 17 years ago. I'm sure it does fly, huh? December 28th. I was there that day, 17 years ago. Sitting in the courtroom gallery. Just before the trial got started, Gregory noticed that Samson was looking even worse than usual. Turns out the poor guy had finally reached his limit. So bad he even said he wanted to be found guilty.
Wait, you mean they forced a confession out of him?
Yeah. Well, Karma got what he'd been pushing for from the very beginning. When Gregory tried to drop the bombshell about there being no body to speak of, why would you do that late? Do that, like, day one. He learned that Von Karma had used the power of the police to head him off at the pass. He even had himself a fake autopsy report. That wasn't the end of it. Von Karma had gotten Samson to falsely testify against himself to being an accessory to murder in court. Combined with his confession, the poor guy's goose was well and truly cooked. Gregory still had his ace in the hole, though. The same ace he asked Detective Bad to help. And the same ace he asked Detective Bad to help him with. Exactamundo! He knew he needed one last card to play if they squeezed a confession out of Samson. So he had Bad record all of Samson's interrogations.
I guess Detective Bad really wanted to know the truth too, huh?
We all did, but he was a trooper. Stayed with the case even after Von Karma took him off it. He was tied up in some other big cases too. Good old Bad. They don't make him like that anymore. Anyway, Gregory presented the recordings as proof that Samson's confession was coerced. You know what? It almost worked. A cop named Ian Seidman got fired. Samson's interrogator and the initial detective before Bad. He took the fall pretty much. Samson's interrogator and the initial detective before Bad. He took the fall for pretty much the whole thing. But Von Karma didn't get away scot-free. In fact, he was disciplined by the chief prosecutor. For the one and only time in his 40-year career. Still, Samson himself couldn't stomach another day in court. So when that guilty verdict came down, he didn't just signal the end of that day, but the whole sad affair. I don't remember a lot myself, but my father's face when they declared Mr. Tangaroa guilty. I was a young child at the time, but even I could tell how much he was hurting inside. Gregory wanted to appeal to the ruling, of course. He would have done anything to clear Samson's name. But then... well, you know what happened next. Poor guy. He never got the chance. I should have left with him that day. I'll always blame myself for not doing that. But I shoved that aside and obsessed over something else instead. Or rather, someone else. I hated what you did. Hated you for choosing to stick with Von Karma. I hope you can forgive me. No, you had every right to hate me. I went on to become a prosecutor, as planned, and that's when Mr. Von Karma showed me this case file. According to these records, Mr. Tangaroa was convicted as the main culprit in Mr. Frost's murder. Nope, that's not right. Samson was convicted as an accessory to murder. Strange, the file clearly states that he was the perpetrator. Plus, I'm fairly certain that all of Mr. Von Karma's cases were successfully solved. Mind if I take a peek at those? This file's been doctored. The part about the verdict, it's been changed. What? Here, paste your papers on this. Samson Tangaroa, age 39, organizer of confectionery contest. Victim's body was found inside one of his creations, leading to his arrest. While in detention, Tangaroa discovered that he had a taste disorder, which was subsequently cured via medication. Verdict: convicted as accomplice based on his confession. Convicted as an accomplice. That's a copy of the file they have on record at the courthouse. Why is my copy so different? Well, you said it came from Von Karma, yeah? My guess is he didn't want Gregory's son thinking there was a murderer out there still at large. Didn't want you looking into it again before the statute of limitations was up. So everything I believed about the case was a lie? Like they say, we all gotta start somewhere. What's important is you know what's what now. Statute of limitations may have run out, but the truth's still out there, you know? I inherited Samson's case when your old man passed. Prosecution handed it off to someone else, too. Great Von Karma wasn't going to bother facing off against a rookie like me, was he? Anyway, long story short, the killer was never found. Samson was found guilty instead.
That's terrible. Is there really nothing we can do to help him?
Not without the real perp, I'm afraid. Until then, his confession stands. Speaking of which, I didn't find out until after the verdict had been handed down, but Von Karma had threatened Samson and made him a deal. Told him if he didn't confess, he'd make sure Judy was convicted instead.
How could he?
Samson knew there was no way Judy could have done it, of course. He wasn't going to take any chances, so he did what he was told and did best to keep her safe. Now, riddle me this, mousy boy. Why do you think your Uncle Eddie just happened to be in the prison the day the Bronco Knight died?
Ah, that's right.
You were there to see Mr. Tangaroa. Bingo! Judy and I both promised we'd visit him every day. I didn't quite keep that promise. But Judy did. She never missed one visit in all these years. Come rain or shine, she always showed up. And none of that changes the fact that Samson is still being unduly punished day after day.
How heartbreaking. We've got to do something, Mr. Fender.
Oh, kiddo, that's actually why we came here. The ice sculptures are back on display, just like they were all those years ago. And we're going to see what we can find out. Alright, Miles Reno. I'm a prosecutor, Fender. I don't look at these things in the same way as you or my father. Miles. That doesn't matter right now. Speaking not as a prosecutor, but as Miles Edgeworth. I want to know the truth behind both of these cases. I'm not leaving until I do. You really are old Gregory's son through and through. Alrighty then, now that that's sorted, we can really get to work. Good thing I brought the IS-7 case file and evidence with me today, huh? Here, documents first. Who doesn't love paperwork, am I right? Parts in red ink are my annotations. 7 case file. Documents received from Fender, including his comments in red. Thank you, Fender. Well, let's take a look. No, its statute of limitations expired 3 years ago, December 24th. Murder weapon, prosecutor. No detailed autopsy report due to the body going missing. Alright. And here's some evidence for you. Enjoy! There's quite a few, so I'd take them in to scope them out if I were you. Small mountain of evidence from the IS-7 incident received from Fender. Yes, I'll see. I see. I'll take a look at them in a bit. Where is it? Maybe I don't actually get to see it until he actively decides to take a look at them.
No, our current case is just full of loose threads too, come to think of it.
Indeed. The key players of that incident 18 years ago who just happened to get caught up in another incident. The ice sculptures in the Winter Wing are perfect replicas of the ones from 18 years ago. The poison gas attack in the Autumn Wing, which has been disguised to look like the Winter Wing. The 2 chemicals that were found inside the Pisces statue display case, ubiquium and asphyxion, that form a poisonous gas when mixed together. The victim of the gas attack, Carmela Gusto, who is no stranger to the events of 18 years ago, and who is still unconscious and undergoing treatment in the medical room. And finally, we come to the body floating face down in the fountain. And the fact that the ice sculptures have melted, just as they did all those years ago. The events of the present day would appear to be intimately linked with the events of the past, which means they may be able to help us learn more about what happened 18 years ago.
Sounds good to me. Let's get investigating.
Objection!
You're here. Oh, no, you don't. Aren't you forgetting somebody? I could have sworn this is my investigation.
Eustace is quite right. I do hope you aren't intending to obstruct him in his duties, Mr. Edgeworth. I would hate to have to add a guilty to my report to the committee.
What am I guilty of now? Of course not. I'm simply offering once again to do what I can to help with this investigation.
Your offer is duly noted and duly denied. Ugh, she isn't pulling any punches. The identity of the body from the fountain is currently being ascertained. It's only a matter of time until we have all the information we need. Perhaps I can help you speed that process along. I think I have an idea of who our mystery victim might be.
What? Really? You have to tell me. It's the law.
Very well. Maybe it isn't just the ice sculptures that have resurfaced after 18 years. The body in the fountain may also be a visitor from the past.
Take that!
I believe that the body in the fountain is that of the man who was murdered here 18 years ago. Mr. R.T. Frost.
What? You say it was poor Chillywinks? Wait, who the heck is Chillywinks or Artie or whoever it is you're talking about?
R.T. Frost was a famous sculptor, Eustace. Although he's better known as Paul Halik. Sculptures on display here, all his works.
No way! Sounds like he did well for himself. Always good to encounter a fellow winner.
Mr. Frost was also the victim in the IS-7 incident. Judge Cavell knows about the IS-7 incident. Mr. Edgeworth, the IS-7 incident is an 18-year-old case. And according to police records, the victim's body was recovered and an autopsy duly carried out.
How old are you? 26. You're also 26, which means I guess Edgeworth is too, so I guess you're all about the same age. Sure, that's what the records say. The records can't always be trusted.
What are you insinuating?
Well, the records say stuff like body totally recovered. The defense back then begged to differ. Not that it stopped the prosecution from shutting them down hard, of course. It should be a thing you can check real quick. Yeah, this is winner. What? Really?
What is it, Eustace?
The body. We've got an ID. Some sculptor called Frost or something, so I guess Edgeworth called it. Goddess of justice.
So my father's deductions were right all along.
That would mean someone either managed to sneak it in here, or it's been around here the whole time. Stuck in a freezer or something, but like, surely someone would have found it since then. Unless maybe she did, and then she was like, I think I know who did it. It was someone. The guy she actually poisoned, probably. Then murdered him. Or tried to. And then just tossed the body out because she does not need it anymore. Or maybe to get him properly caught since he didn't die. I don't know. We'll see. Or it could be someone else. I'm just not sure who else would have been able to find that thing. Or bring it here.
So my father's deductions were right all along. Well, Judge Gamel, I'd say this changes things, wouldn't you? Perhaps now you'll admit that I might be of use to this case. More than a certain junior prosecutor, anyway.
No fair, you're trying to steal the win.
I'm doing no such thing. All I want is to uncover the truth. And if we're going to get to the bottom of what happened here, we'll need to work together.
We do not need to do anything, and you do not need to know the truth. This case is none of your concern.
Objection!
Whoa there, Judge G. I think you might be wrong about that. Another of your interruptions, Mr. Fender. Yep. See, I was on the defense team for IS-7, so this case is very much my concern. I was one of the pesky kids pushing the theory that the body had actually gone missing. prosecutor at the time may have brushed us off. You can't deny the testimony of your eyes. Or, to put it a little more bluntly, the prosecution's case was rotten from the ground up. When there's been a miscarriage of justice caused by the prosecution, it's the committee's job to fix it, no? And who better to help you unpick the mess than someone who was there at the time? Unless you have an ulterior motive. Judge Gravel seems to know the facts in the IS-7 incident in some detail. In which case, I suspect she must be here on the committee's behalf. Your connection to the case is noted, Mr. Fender, but I fail to see how it concerns Mr. Edgeworth. He is the son of the original defense attorney, and the protege of the case's lead prosecutor. And if that's not enough for you, he was at the trial too. I think it's just possible he might have a little something to bring to the table, don't you? Very well. You may both assist in the investigation. But only if you refrain from interfering with the work of others. The Winter Wing is off limits for now. This room, however, is all yours. Alrighty, great to hear we're on the same wavelength, G. Why don't we bring it in, so we're all on the same side of justice? We're all on the side of justice. Do not test me, Mr. Fender. Your permission to investigate can be revoked at any time. Only noted, Your Honor. This is a turn up for the books, huh, Milesy? We get to do our thing after all. Thanks to your immeasurable help, as always. No sweat. Besides, I was mostly doing it for me. Okay, I'll be investigating my own thing, so just holler if you find something interesting. I will. Well, okay, shall we?
Heck yeah! Let the investigation commence.
Still unclear on two key facts. How Mr. Frost's body came to be where we found it, and the source of the ubiquium.
You're right. We'll need some more intel.
Indeed. Let's focus on the ubiquium first and foremost.
It's used in stuff like dish soap and paint, right?
Correct. It's also bright red in color and has a distinctive minty fragrance.
Okay, sounds like we know what we're looking for.
Alright.
Yeah.
Zodiac Hollow Factory. Gonna investigate. Well, first we'll speak with you, I suppose. The body's been taken back to the lab, sir. Autopsy is underway. How's the rest of the fountain looking? Rather beautiful, actually, sir. The water's crystal clear and kind of soothing. Almost as if there wasn't a body floating in it not too long ago, Seems the police have already removed the body.
But why did the body of a victim from 18 years ago turn up in this fountain? And why wasn't it all rotten and stuff? Did it slowly shuffle its way here?
Need I remind you that zombies aren't real? Seems likely the body was preserved somehow.
Really? Is that even possible? Hey, Mr. Forensics Guy, anything to report?
Yes, ma'am. Traces of both ubiquium and asphyxion have been detected in the fountain. I'm gonna say they were probably carried here by the stream in the
I'm gonna say they were probably carried here by the stream from the Autumn Wing.
In addition to those two chemicals, there's also a large amount of sugar. Composition of the sugar is being analyzed as we speak. There's sugar in the fountain. Where would it even have come from? I mean, the statues, they were replicas of the original, so they'd also be made with sugary thing. Oh, my left stick makes me walk. Or the right stick, rather. At like a normal pace. And only in 4 directions. Odd.
It's a man with a moon-shaped head and a woman with a sun-shaped head. Man's got a real pained look in his eyes, though. Oh, it's that one over there. Is this another Paul Leak piece?
Yes, from his younger years, when he was something of a dreamer. He depicted those closest to him by means of a motif taken from nature. This piece is titled, My Parents.
Yes, the mom shone brightest in that house.
Tea. Miss Bone's tea set is laid out neatly on the serving cart. Pamphlet says the gallery's
The pamphlet says the gallery's famous for its tea.
Understandably so. The cup we were given was delicious.
Looks like all this stuff was designed by Mr. Frost.
Interesting. In that case, we'd better take a closer look. The tablecloth draped over the cart is pure white and completely spotless.
And it's just waiting for me to grab it by the edge, clear my mind, and whoosh!
Okay, I cannot stress enough how bad of an idea that would be.
Aw, come on, what's the worst that can happen? Even if it does go all sideways, we'll just wind up with a cool tea-colored tie-dye.
Yes, well, I'd rather it remained white. Plus, I don't think Miss Bound would appreciate us meddling with it.
Really? But there are so many other colors that would totally work. Pink, sky blue, tea leaves brown.
So this dishware was made by Artie Frost.
Looks very fancy.
Oh, it is. I'm willing to bet that this set can fetch something in the thousands of dollars. So let's try not to touch any of it unless we absolutely have to.
Oh, this stuff's really worth that much.
Stop it, Kay. I can see your eyes lighting up. Miss Bound must really be a fan of Mr. Frost, like Mr. Fender said, to still have this. Okay, to jot it down. Hello?
Instead, I wanted to look at that weird bottle over there.
Yeah.
Hey, Yeji!
What is it?
You be careful with that teapot, you hear?
Why is Larry so concerned all of a sudden?
Honored guests? I can pour you a cup if you'd like.
Miss Bound.
Judy! I'm good, thanks, so tea for me. You do knock yourselves out.
Thank you for the offer. Yes, why not? Quick break wouldn't hurt.
2 cups coming right up. Smells great. Wow, it tastes even better than it smells. What type of tea is this, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's Ceylon, I believe. It's usually identifiable by its citrus aroma, but Miss Bound, is this the same blend you served this morning?
Why, yes, it's alright. There isn't anything wrong with it, is there?
No, not at all. It's like the cup you gave me earlier had a slightly different aroma.
Really? That's odd. I used the exact same blend both times. I can't see what could account for the difference. Hey, what's the big idea? Quit being mean about Judy's tea, will you?
What's gotten under your skin, Larry?
Nothing, you were just rude, that's all. You don't even try to call me by the right name. It's the Reese Stoneham, dang it. You know what? I'm done. I'm not talking to you anymore.
Well, that was childish, even for him.
Well, what happened there?
Let's ask him about it later, shall we? Talking to Miss Bound is more of a priority right now. We may not have any evidence to prove that she's the culprit, but it does seem likely that the poison gas was her doing.
Bottle.
canny containing Ceylon tea leaves. It's a well-crafted tin canister designed to prevent moisture and sunlight from damaging its contents. Not a bad thing to use, considering the quality of the blend Miss Bond serves. Nothing else. But now you're here, but I wanted to keep looking at things.
Statue of a man and woman in old-timey clothes. Did Paul Halik make these as well?
Yes, it seems he created them later in his life, once he'd begun to make a name for himself.
His wife pushed him to sculpt the two of them as ancient gods, and he couldn't say no to his beloved.
Title is The Beautiful Goddess Venus and Her Humble Servant.
Wow, talk about putting your goddess on a little literal pedestal. Those are tulips by the door, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, it leads to the spring wing.
Ah, spring. Popular time to move house. Which makes it open season for great thieves.
House breaking is a little beneath a great thief, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
What's this? From the color and aroma, say this is a pile of spilt tea.
And look, there's a small chunk of ceramic in it.
Guess someone broke a cup.
I guess somebody must have broke something.
I know that insignia. A certain high-strung somebody might just know a little something too.
They put sunflowers by the door. Nice.
Fitting adornment for the entrance to the summer wing, I suppose.
Summer is also vacation time. Every great thief knows that that means tourism with bulging wallets. Pickpocket?
Pickpocketing, Kay? Isn't that a little beneath a great thief?
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Why is there a lift cart just sitting out here in the open?
Guess somebody must have been moving something heavy?
The top of the platform seems to be wet. No, I got a funny feeling I've seen this thing somewhere before.
You mean like 18 years ago?
Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. Well, I saw it in Frost's room. He must have used it to move the ice sculptures. Around. It's one of those fancy numbers where you can change not only the platform's height, but even its angle. If you had one of these, you can move giant lumps of ice around no sweat.
Oh, just think of the possibilities. I could really use one of these.
Still, it doesn't explain what it's doing here, though. Bit of a head scratcher, but we should give it a think, yeah. Indeed. After all, it just might have something to do with our case. It's a selection of trophies won by Paul Halik, or rather Artie Frost. Evidently, he was a very well-respected artist.
Well, you've got one too, Mr. Edgeworth. So it's about time I won one too. Guess I'll have to find some thieving contest to enter. Or you could set something up. Something with a nice ceremony at the end, all that.
Yes, followed by a swift round of arrests. Hello there.
Mr. Winter was very clear that you're only allowed to investigate in this room. So I'm afraid I can't let you pass. Sorry, sir.
It wouldn't make much of a difference if you did, officer. You're standing in front of a wall.
Oh, but we all know a few bricks won't stop you, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, sir. Wow, he actually sounds kind of scared of you.
Just what kind of reputation do I have down at the precinct? One that involves you tearing through a brick wall, apparently. Seems the elevator is only accessible to select individuals.
I wonder what's upstairs.
Among other things, the medical room. That's where Mr. Gusteau is being treated.
I hope he's alright. We've got some questions that need answering as soon as he wakes up.
Since there's no way of knowing when that might be, we should explore other avenues in the meantime. Same trophies, I guess. 3,
The door here is marked with a nice autumny looking tree.
Yet, it leads to the winter wing. Suppose it's all part of the deception.
I could steal the leaves if you like, make things a little more wintry.
I think you'd better leave him alone, Kay. This thing in front of the door.
This thing in front of the door is a fir tree, right?
Yes, they're usually associated with winter, but this door leads to the autumn wing. Suppose it's all part of someone's elaborate ruse.
I could paint it red for that autumny feel.
Evergreens stay green all year round, Kay. Hence the name.
Sure, I knew that.
Let's speak.
Hello there, dearie. Still investigating away, are you? Found anything interesting? No, dearie. Well, nothing much anyway. Silly girl, that wasn't a dearie moment. That was more of a lambkin. Sweetheart is for when you're being sympathetic, of course, and treasure is for when it is. Love is for people you're not that keen on, and petal you use when you're trying to get someone's attention. Wow, I didn't realize there were so many rules. Mr. Edgeworth, petal! I hope you're getting this all down.
Don't even try it, Kay.
Oh, dearie me. It's a sculpture of a brave warrior battling against a serpent. Did Paul Halik make this one too, Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth?
He did. Seems he was fascinated by fantasy and mythology when he was a young man. This piece embodies the tragic yet gritty determination of the young as they face an impossible situation. It's called a math test.
Talk about relatable.
Speaking of swordsmen, I've been watching Yaiba. Samurai Legend Yaiba. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely like a kid's shonen anime, but you know, whatever. It's fun, and the animation is really nice. It is so lovely to look at. They're apparently releasing the manga in English now. I have to look into that. Especially since the fan translations I had seen around prior seem varied in quality. So, you know, I think it's Viz that's doing it. Hopefully they're doing it well, but hard to say. They're Detective Conan's still using the dub names for the characters, which, I mean, I guess they can't really change it after this many volumes, but still. I think they stopped changing characters' names at some point too, so there's just these weird outliers of, like, the main characters have English names, and then, like, literally even Kazuha is still her original name, and it's like, she didn't show up that late. You know, whatever. We must speak with... well, let's look at... okay, no, you don't care. Speak with you? I'm going to keep this simple, Larry. You're hiding something, so just tell me what it is.
Oh, quit it with the glare off, you two. It's weird. Ah, come on, Kay. You know me better than that. I wasn't staring. I was struck by an idea for a picture. Now, Edgy, he was glaring.
Yes, and I'll keep glaring at you until you tell us what it is you're hiding.
What did I already told you? I'm not talking to you anymore.
You're talking to me right now.
I mean, from now on, I'm not talking to you ever again. Starting now.
This is getting me nowhere. So I'll have to figure out what he's hiding first before I can get the whole truth out of him. I suppose you have to present something. Did you break a cup? Is that what happened? You broke it. Would you mind taking a look at this for me, Larry? Okay, that is what it said. I hit the button too quick.
Why would you show me that?
Tell me, what is it about Miss Bound's tea set that's got you so agitated? If you won't tell me, then perhaps you'd prefer to explain it to Judge Gavel.
Wait, don't make me look bad in front of Verity. She thinks I'm that sensitive, cool, clean-cut guy.
I don't think that's true.
I don't want her to see the real me, the real low-down, dirty me.
I'm not so sure anybody here thinks you're particularly clean-cut, Larry. But if you don't want her to think badly of you, then the best thing you can do is talk to me.
Alright, I'll talk.
Alright, Larry, enough is enough. Now confess.
Is that any way to treat your best friend, Eddie?
Is this any way for you to treat yours? Lying to him? Hiding things?
I get the picture already, so stop glaring at me like that. I'll tell you everything, okay? Earlier, I thought Verity might like a cup of tea, so I went to pour one for her. But I got distracted, my hand slipped, and smash. I broke the teapot, a priceless work of art. It's in pieces because of me.
Oh, a whole teapot, not just the cup? Oh. No words exist to describe how far away I saw this coming from.
Ouch, you really messed up this time, Lace. See, Edgy, everyone's going to think less of me now. Judy's never going to forgive me for this.
Crying to me won't do you any good. I think you need to apologize to Miss Bound. My teapot. I see.
I'm sorry, Judy. I'm so sorry. I don't have any money, but I'll paint your portrait. I'll paint you 50 portraits.
Please, Mr. Donham. It's really me who should be apologizing. How could I fail to notice that there were broken pieces of ceramics on the floor? Somebody could have been hurt. Here, let me make sure that's safely disposed of. The teapot in question was designed by Artie Frost, correct? I understand that it was something you've long treasured. You must be upset.
Oh, I am. But of course, all things break eventually.
As luck would have it, I have another identical teapot. It's far from the end of the world. She's less attached to Mr. Frost's work than she used to be.
I can't believe this, Judy. You're the sweetest, the kindest. This other teapot you're talking about is the one sitting on top of the cart. It's the one sitting on top of the cart right now, right?
What do you mean?
Yeah, so when I smashed the first one, I tried to hide the pieces in the bottom of the cart. That's when I saw that other pot under there, so I took it out and basically switched the two pots. Oh, I see. Yep, and that's everything I have to tell you. I'll be extra careful not to break the other one, I promise.
You have no shame whatsoever, do you?
I'm sorry.
It's really quite alright. Thank you for being so honest.
See, she's Judy the absolute best.
I trust you won't take advantage of her kindness and will make amends somehow.
I sure will. Once I make it as an artist, I'm gonna give her one of my paintings. She was one of my models after all. It's only fair.
At this rate, I suspect he's likely to make more trouble than amends. Don't you think it would be better for you to keep out of her way for a very long while?
Oh, but I will be keeping out of her way because I sketched her and the others already.
Her and the others.
You see my work, huh? Yeah, I drew a few great sketches of some ravishing beauties. Want to see? Interested in Larissa's ravishing beauties, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm afraid you've greatly misjudged Kay. Simply wish to see if Larry's captured any unusual details this time, too.
Unusual details? Nothing's unusual about these. They're my best work yet. Really? Now I want to see them too.
Aw, you're a sweetheart, Kay. Alright, let me dig them out for you. Give me a sec, okay? Suppose we might as well take a look. So, these sketches of yours.
Seriously, Edgy, if you wanted to check out my art, you should have just said so from the get-go. Here, place your eyes on this.
What am I looking at here? He's a very capable artist. Like, these look nice. What is she doing? Cloth in the fountain. Did she find the body first? You've got chocolates on your tray for some reason.
I told you already, ravishing beauties. Just a few of the fair faces that have caught my eye since I've been here, you know. Miss Verity and Judy and, somebody else. Why did you draw them all on the same page? Well, I meant to draw the room at first, just something to pass the time. And then I saw one beauty and another, and, well, I just scribbled them all down as I went.
So these were all drawn at different times.
Oh, yeah, I guess. I did one of you too, Kay. You're on a different page, though. Wow, you did? I'm flattered.
How true to life are these sketches? Did you only draw what you actually saw?
Of course! You think I draw things I can't see? Like, using my imagination? No, these are 100% true to life, right down to the exact same shade of each color.
So the colors are accurate. Interesting. Much as it pains me to admit it, Larry may have provided me with a useful piece of evidence yet again. The serving cart in the sketch, for example, if I compare it to the one here in the room, there's a clear contradiction between the two. No deduction is in order. Could I borrow this page for a while, Larry?
Sure thing. You want me to sign it for you?
Just the page, please. We don't want to look at anything else, just to, like, hang out. I guess you wouldn't have opinions on any of the rest of this, huh? Alright, bye. I spoke with you. I don't think I actually talked to you. Don't think you've gotten away with anything, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll be reporting your actions to the committee. Do whatever you need to do, Judge Gamel.
And we'll do the same.
You are the self-styled great thief, correct? Mr. Edgeworth's association with such a character will be of interest to the committee too, of course.
Go ahead and report me to your stupid committee. I'll be the toast of the thieving community.
Looks like Judge Gavel will have to think up some new threats if she wants to intimidate Kay. How about you? Do you mind, Mr. Winter? You're in my way.
I do mind, actually, and I'm not going anywhere. You'll just have to go around me. We just thought you might want to move to a better spot, that's all.
What better spot? I demand you show it to me at once. Is that really all it takes to make you do whatever we want? Okay. Now we must speak with you, and then we'll have to look at the thing again. Where were you before you rejoined us here, Miss Bound? I had to go and tell our visitors were closed. Oh, and hand out a little something, an apology. Was there something you wanted to talk to me about? Yes, a few things actually. Not least of all, the fact that I think you might be the one who set the poison gas trap. The original ice sculptures melted 18 years ago, correct? How did you manage to recreate them? Oh, you know about what happened back then. In that case,
You might also know that I took pictures of them during the contest. I commissioned the creation of a set of replicas based on those photographs for this current exhibition, for this current exhibit. But why go through the trouble of creating replicas? Mr. Frost's Zodiac series was this great unfinished masterwork. I wanted to see it completed at last. Or rather, recompleted. It was my fault that the original set melted in the first place, after all. I see. Is there any particular reason why the winter and autumn wings look so similar? Oh my, you really think they look alike? Perhaps I used some of the decorations from one and another by accident. She's clearly lying. I don't have the evidence to prove it just yet. Deduction. Look at this. It's related to the evidence. That's wrong. Blue.
Eureka!
Larry, could I ask you something about your sketches? I'm fascinated by the work of the great Lurie Stone and Long. Is the composition right? Not exactly. This light blue tablecloth. You painted that exactly as you saw it, correct? I already told you, everything is exactly as I saw it. But the tablecloth on the cart here in this room is white. Wow. Your head's so full of crazy theories, the simple stuff just passes you right by, huh? What's that look for? Listen, just before I drew that sketch, I was in the middle of some business with the cart with the tea set on it, okay? What kind of business? That's right, it was the hiding the pieces of the teapot I smashed kind. That's nothing to boast about. Anyway, I was still in the middle of cleaning it all up when Judy came out of the winter wing. I didn't want to get busted for breaking the pot, so I quickly dove out of sight. Wait, Miss Bound came out of the winter wing. It was a very suspicious cart. Yeah, and she was pushing a cart, a different one. That's the one with the light blue tablecloth on it that I drew. And what did you do with the second serving cart? Well, I saw her wheel it into the summer wing, but I don't know what happened to it after that. When she came back out, she was pushing one of those other carts, the kind you can lift stuff with. A lift cart. Yeah, so I called out to her, but she just ran off and left it behind. Never had her down as the shy type, but just goes to show you never know. Another serving cart and a lift cart.
Is there maybe another tea set too?
You better check with Miss Bound. Are there 2 serving carts here in the gallery, Miss Bound?
Oh, yes, why do you ask?
Certain so-called artist showed us this sketch. Couldn't help but notice the color of the tablecloth. It's a light blue.
Light blue? I'm afraid your friend must be mistaken. I only use white tablecloths, freshly laundered and starched. Like the perfect wrinkle-free one on the cart here in the fountain room, right?
Exactly. If I saw so much as a blemish, I would replace it right away. Could the color of the tablecloth in the sketch simply be a mistake on Larry's part? Do you have any idea what you might have been doing when the sketch was drawn?
Let me see. I appear to be carrying out my usual duties.
I'd like to ask you a little more about these duties, if I may. What exactly were you doing when the sketch was drawn? Because from what I can see, your cart doesn't have a tea set on it.
I was delivering some chocolates to the investigating officers.
Aw, now I'm jealous. I love chocolate.
Well, there were a few left over, so here, for you both. I made them myself. Hope you like them.
Woohoo! Thanks, Miss Bound.
Oh, why not? A little melted, but I suppose that's because they've been sitting around in her pocket. Chocolates.
They're super sweet. I love them.
I'm glad to hear it. They may not be the prettiest, but I'm grateful for the energy boost nonetheless. Oh, perhaps they could do with a little less sugar.
Can't speak with you yet.
Hey there, Mazzarino! What's the situation with the investigation? Things are progressing. I think a fuller picture of what happened is beginning to emerge. Good to hear. Guess I better step up my game too, then. This case seems to have a lot in common with the incident from 18 years ago. And how? It's got the lot, melting statues in the winter wing, and even the murder victim's body.
How did nobody ever figure out that the body had gone missing?
Frost had no family apart from his son. And, well, the kid kinda vanished. Nobody's seen him since around the time of the incident. That's concerning. Gusto's son, too. Him and his best pal from school both just up and disappeared.
What? They were never found?
Gusto's boy wasn't, as far as I heard anyhow. Guess Frost's kid turned up in the end, though. He collected his inheritance at some point. But, yeah, with no family around, and just after the incident, Frost got no funeral, no nothing. So, no need for the police to release his body, and no real need for anybody to find out they didn't have it. They filed their fake autopsy report, and no one was any the wiser. Well, almost nobody. Still can't believe Mr. Von Karma would have stooped so low. I feel like at this point you maybe should believe that. He shot your father with a gun and then tried to frame you for it after framing someone else. Messing with evidence is not the highest priority problem that he had. Alright, I have this. Let's see, switch pot, minty fragrance. No, these ones. It's a new pot, and so it's different. I suspect the difference in aroma we notice is due to the teapots having been switched.
You do?
I can't see what else it could have been. The tea itself hadn't changed. Why don't we ask Miss Bound, just to be sure? Miss Bound? The difference in aroma we noticed, do you think it could have been because of the different teapot? I suppose so. My cup just now had a subtle minty scent, rather like uva tea.
Oh, I just remembered I made some peppermint tea in that pot only yesterday. That must be where the minty aroma is coming from.
Could that really be it? Teapot leftover aroma. Minty fragrance. The tea from the teapot Larry switched in from under the cart smelled faintly of mint.
Right. Miss Bound said she used that pot to make peppermint tea yesterday.
Yes, but there's something else that's been troubling me. Miss Bound seemed more taken aback by the switching of the teapots than the breaking of one.
Right. You'd expect it to be the other way around.
I suspect she might have been deliberately hiding the teapot under the cart. Or underneath, whatever, same thing.
But why?
One of Ubiqueum's key characteristics is minty fragrance. So what if she had been hiding some in that teapot?
What in the teapot?
It's simply a possibility, but one worth investigating, I believe. Mr. Winner, any luck finding that Ubiqueum?
Huh? My people are searching the entire gallery, but they haven't found anything yet.
And what about you? Don't tell me you know where it came from. I may have an idea.
Ha! I knew it. If I can't find it, there's no, chance of, what? You do know where it came from.
Yes.
Where?
Miss Bound's teapot.
Wow, nice piece. I like it. Yeah, this looks like a fitting prize for a natural-born winner.
It's not a prize. It's a vital piece of evidence.
Oh, it's just evidence. I'll have one of the forensics people check it out.
Mr. Edgeworth, is there some sort of problem with my teapot?
Possibly. The minty fragrance we noticed coming from it. I think it just might be the scent of one of the chemicals used to make the poison gas.
Mr. Edgeworth, surely you don't think I had anything to do with that?
I'm afraid I do. The method used to create the gas would have required considerable preparation. Nobody would have had the time or opportunity to set that up except you.
That's not strictly true. It took around a week to get Zodiac Hall ready for the exhibition. There were all kinds of people coming and going through here during that time. Delicia for one. So you see, I'm not the only person who could have set it all up at all.
The skull is on our radar too, of course. You needn't worry about that.
And besides, I wouldn't know the first thing about making poison gas. So even if you did find some ubiqueum in my teapot, I wouldn't have any idea what to do with it. But I suppose we should see what the test results say first.
He didn't say ubiqueum. Miss Bound claims she doesn't know the first thing about making poison gas. I need to find a way to prove that she's lying. Her own words against her right now. Edgeworth speaking.
Sir, it's me.
Is everything alright, Detective?
Everybody's left the Winter Wing. It's just me in here now. Which means I can tell you what we found out.
You really shouldn't be sharing information about the investigation. But after the past week or so, I'm not about to stop him now.
The exhibits in here have all completely melted. All that's left in the display cases is some stuff at the bottom. More of it in the Taurus case than the Gemini case, though.
Describe this stuff for me if you can.
Yes, sir. It's like a pale blue liquid, and I had the lab run some tests just now. The sample from the Taurus case just had a bunch of sugar in it. But the one from the Gemini case had 3 different substances in it.
Which were?
Sugar, salt, and blood.
Blood? What are salt and blood doing in the Gemini case's sample?
I wonder if that's a corpse. This
covered up by a luminous cloth. Although, I'm not sure how she would have gotten that set off. Be a bit awkward to do that without anyone else finding out, unless she was also just good at ice sculpturing to make things fit together properly and, I don't know, coat the body, probably. Can't imagine whose blood it could possibly be, but I'll get it tested right away, sir.
Please do, Detective.
Oh, I also spoke over the radio with the forensics guy working in the fountain room. He said he just got word that the sugar they found in the fountain matches the sugar in the pale blue liquid.
I see. That might well prove to be a significant development.
Given my case analysis results, data jotted down. Results of the analysis conducted on the melted contents of the Gemini case.
Anything else to report, Detective?
Yes, sir. We found one of those light-emitting devices here in the Winter Wing, too.
There were a few of those being used in the Autumn Wing to disguise it as the Winter Wing, as I recall. Seems the equipment from 18 years ago was more than just for show. Need to talk to Miss Scone about this.
Anyhow, I'd better be getting back to it. I'll let you know as soon as we hear from the lab about that blood.
Yes, thank you, Detective.
Was that Gummy? Seemed like he had a lot to say.
He did, and all of it very useful. I'm going to prove that Miss Bound's claims about who could have set up that poison gas trap are false. I'll need to talk to a certain somebody else who was here 18 years ago.
Okay. Looks like everyone still has the same dialogue. Hello, I'd like to speak with you.
Miss Scone, I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may.
Of course, dear, fire away. Anything for you, Mousy Smousy? And dear sweet little Tooth Decay.
I feel like that's a bit less endearing of a name.
I'd appreciate it if that was the last time you called me Milesy Smilesy.
Not a fan of Tooth Decay either. Well, you'll just have to like it or lump it. Can't change a nickname once I settled on it. Well, I guess we tried.
What can you tell us about the various devices used to decorate the gallery's exhibits? There seem to be some pretty specialized items in use. Light-emitting devices, luminous fabrics.
Oh, I can tell you all about those, dearie. After all, I'm the one who gave them to Moody Judy. That's my way of saying sorry after I broke the rules all those years ago.
What is in that bowl? Something you can eat, I guess.
I bought her 4 lovely new salt lamps, and I gave her the 4 pieces of luminous cloth I used for the contest. Wow, that's super generous of you. Well, us girls have to do our best, don't we? Not everybody understands, of course.
That better not be a dig at me, Delish. I told you how kind I thought that was.
Yes, back when you were a dear, sweet, innocent baby boy. What happened to you, eh? Dear, sweet, innocent baby boy. Mr. Fender? Can't quite picture that, I have to say.
So these decorations are all the same as the ones you saw 18 years ago, correct?
Yep, salt lamps, glowing fabric, light-emitting doodads, the whole bit.
There were 4 luminous cloths in use in the Autumn Wing. And I'm sure I saw another one somewhere.
I'm not lying. Oh, it's in my bag somewhere, I'm sure of it.
What is she looking for?
That's not it. And that's not it.
That cloth looks familiar. I should jog her memory with something so Miss Scone will tell us more. Miss Scone, you're something of a specialist. How might someone learn to make the poison gas that was used in the attack, Any ideas?
Well, any pharmacist who ever handled Infesticide Ultra would know for a start. I'm not sure a pharmacist needs that. After all, it says right there on the label, do not mix with products containing ubiquium. Ever.
What about a lay person? It's unlikely they'd know, wouldn't you say?
I suppose so, yes. Oh, not unless they had a nose through the ultimate cookbook anyway.
The prize from the contest 18 years ago.
The recipe for making Infesticide Ultra, along with not mixing Ubiquium bit, is in there, you know.
Just boil it down to, it has instructions for making poison gas. It's not quite what it was trying to inform people, but yes, I suppose. So you're familiar with the contents of the book?
Oh, yes, dear, I know it inside out. Because I work for the Tangaroa Group, you see. We're the company behind Cold Killer X. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Cold Killer X fights back sniffles and sneezes with ease, apparently.
After Sammy Poodle was found guilty, the company took custody of the book. But they only grant their most trusted people access to it, of course.
Which means Miss Scone is one of these elites, I suppose. Anyway, look at this picture of you with a weird cloth in the fountain. What are you doing?
Oh, look at that! A picture of silly old me.
That's right. You seem to have caught the artist's eye.
You mean lovely Larice Lampkin. I'll have to have a word with him and say thanks.
Well, I'll be glad to introduce you.
And there's the evil Smirka.
Okay, what are you doing in that image, though? Have you read the Ultimate Cookbook, Miss Scone?
Of course I have. I'm a pharmacist, you know, even if I do wear a big pink hat. I think it's so cool you're a pharmacist. Well, so do I, dearie, so do I. Aren't you a sweetheart, my little toothy gay?
Since when were you interested in pharmaceuticals?
Shh, I'm working on my magic, Mr. Edgeworth. Buttering her up so she'll do what I want. Anyway, Miss Scone, Delicia, I was wondering if you could maybe... No! How many times, you cheeky little imp? Once your name's decided, I can't change it. Dang. So much for the sneaky approach. What kind of great thief am I?
Not a very good one. You had a piece of fabric like this in your bag, did you not, Miss Scone? Albeit a somewhat grimmer one. Grimier? Grimier, it says, I see.
Grimy, how rude. Grimy, how rude. You won't get people to cooperate with your little investigation like that, young man.
Shall I call it a dish towel then? Perhaps you use it to wipe up some sort of spillage?
A spillage, he says, the cheek. That's a piece of highly specialized luminous cloth. Oh, I probably shouldn't have told you that.
I think I'd like to know a little more about this highly specialized luminous cloth, if you don't mind. Why didn't you want me to know you had a piece of luminous cloth in your bag?
Oh, well, I suppose there's no point in hiding it now, is there? If you must know, I fished it out of the fountain. It was right before they called me into the Autumn Wing.
So Larry's sketch of Miss Scone is of when she was trying to retrieve the cloth.
First, I thought it was one of the ones I'd given Moody Judy.
And before you'd given to the gallery, correct?
Exactly, but before were being used in the Autumn Wing, weren't they? So I realized it must be the one that went missing all those years ago. I'd already had my Infesticide Ultra pinched and used to make poison gas. When my cloths turned out to be used in some sort of dastardly deed too, well, I was going to look guilty of sin, wasn't I? So I kept it hidden in my bag and hoped for the best.
I see.
Oh, it does feel good to get off my chest, though. Stress is no good for the complexion.
So the cloth that disappeared 18 years ago, the one that the victim was wrapped in, just happens to reappeared in the fountain at the same time. To have reappeared, perhaps, in the fountain at the same time as the body. Alright, lost 18 years ago, only to be rediscovered floating in the fountain. I mean, it would have been just still with the body, really. All there is to it. You wouldn't have opinions on evidence I have, would you? Probably not. Ah, your new dialogue. Tell me, Thunder, what kind of person is Miss Bound? Huh? Wait a minute. Don't tell me you got a thing for her, Mouser. I do not. Chill, I'm just taking your chain. Anyway, what can I say about Judes? Well, she's a real brave trooper for one. What else do you call someone who waits around 18 whole years like she has for Samson? Even after his extended family kicked her out of this place.
What? Did they throw her out?
Yep, Judes wasn't technically part of the family, so there was nothing she could do. She had nothing, nobody, and no job after Samson took the fall. So she had no choice but to take what he taught her and make her own way in showbiz. She's retired from all that now, though. Yes, why did she retire? She finally made enough to buy the old place back. She even got the ultimate cookbook back from the Tangaroa group after they basically stole it. How'd she get that? Guess this place and everything to do with it was all she ever cared about. So she just wanted it back. All of it. Thunder seems very sympathetic to Miss Bone's plight, but from a less charitable perspective, she has, in a way, taken everything from Mr. Tangaroa's for herself. Maybe I need to do... The ultimate cookbook contained instructions on how to create the poison gas. And the current owner of that book is none other than Miss Judy Bound.
No way. You mean...
I'm afraid I do. Miss Bound would have been perfectly capable of setting up the gas trap. Finally, we can prove that she's been lying to us. Investigation complete. And that's that. All that's left now is to await the results of the tests on that teapot. To be continued. But not today, I think. It is 11 o'clock. About the time I stop. My throat's a bit sore. So I think I will stop for now. Having a good time. Getting through the case. All is well. I shall return to the game on Friday. Wednesday is more Mario. Mario and the, what is it called? Cursed Mirror. That's it. It's a ROM hack. We'll play through that. I only need a few more stars before I can get to the final boss, so we should be good. After that, I'll have to pick out something else. I suppose I'll look into it later. But yes, more Ace Attorney investigations on Friday, Mario on Wednesday, 7 o'clock, roundabout. Yes, that's all. Have a nice day. Goodbye.